The Brooklyn Nets just fired Steve Nash and hired Ime Udoka just as fast as they fired him. Chill, I need thoughts on this. What happened and what's going on?
Well, I think it was amicable, which is interesting when you think about this Steve Nash situation. As bad as it was amicable. It was just a shaking of the hand. This isn't working, so I'm gonna go. Steve Nash jumped the line, and in the process of Steve Nash jumping the line, he ended up finding himself in a situation that was way worse than what he thought it was. Now, this could be a career killer for him, but I don't think it's going to be because I think Steve Nash can coach. I just think this is a bad situation for him to get himself involved in. Now, if I think about Udoka, if I think about Coach Udoka, who also I believe can coach, he's also in a situation where he's not in a career killing situation. He had an affair, right? We understand that. That's going on with all coaches. That not all coaches. I'm sorry. That's going on in business all over the world. No doubt about that. But if he wasn't a good coach, he wouldn't have gotten hired nearly as fast. Not only would he have not gotten hired, this would not have been something that would have been in the works. They didn't just call up Coach Udoka, and they didn't just call up the Boston Celtics yesterday and go, is he available? This is something that's been in the works for quite some time. I think that they've been off of Steve Nash for quite some time now, and I think that I think today was the day that they finally made it official that they were going in a different direction. But the fact that Steve Nash ended up jumping the line, I think that that was the biggest problem for a whole lot of people because it makes it look like Steve Nash can't coach when in reality, I do believe he can. I just think that he was in a bad situation.
Okay. Lo, how do you feel about this? Do you agree with Chill or do you have a whole different philosophy?
I didn't even know he got hired.
Oh,
That's
for real?
crazy. No,
Yeah,
I
it,
know.
it
I
just
saw
happened.
it was they were talking about it, but I didn't. I know it was like official. I disagree that Nash can coach. There's nothing that he has shown to me that he's a good coach. The offense was very predictable. A lot of isocentric ball. Very few player movement, and they don't have the personnel to kind of get away with that, especially when they're dealing with injuries. And the defense was just atrocious. I have to check it, but before last game, that was the worst defense in NBA history up into the first like 5 or 6 games of basketball. Small sample size, but they were allowing teams to have literally great nights every single night, like averaging 120 plus points every single night. So in terms of like coaching, I just don't think Steve Nash is that great of a coach at all. And I mean, I hope he gets another opportunity, at least go through the proper procedures, becoming an assistant and doing what he's supposed to do in those regards. But something needed to change with the team because they know from a personnel standpoint, there's not really much else that they can do beyond this season. So like you're basically trying to figure out what you can do on the fly. The only thing from my perspective that I find crazy is like not giving him putting Steve Nash on such a short leash kind of just defeated the whole purpose of the whole mix up and everything that occurred during the off season. I just don't understand why not just fire him and then try to go in a different direction. If that was a whole fuss about KD, I just don't understand it at all. Because if out of all the things that I was upset about Durant with, I was in agreement with him that Nash needed to go because he just was not that good of a coach whatsoever. So in that aspect, I just don't understand it because the whole training camp is now wasted, preseason is now wasted, the rotations that Nash wanted to do is now wasted. Everything that he may have prepped this team for, all gone out the drain. And yet again, this is another season during the Durant and Irving era where they have to basically learn on the fly in the middle of a year. So that to me is why it's crazy. But Nash getting fired, I mean, he deserved to get fired. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Marz, talk to me about the whole Nash and Udoka scandal with the Nets.
I mean, similar to Low, I was on the train from last season that Nash had no right being a head coach in the NBA, especially for a team that was trying to contend. I don't know why he had a job. When KD wanted Nash out, I agreed with the fact that Nash shouldn't have been a coach. So now that they had him and they were willing to fire him 7 games into the season, I don't know why he didn't just honor KD's wishes at the time. Because clearly you didn't believe in Nash either if you're willing to fire him after 7 games, especially a game after he won. He won last night. So fire him after that. Clearly you didn't have much faith in Steve Nash. KD didn't have much faith in Steve Nash. And if you guys are on the same page, you might as well just honor what he wanted, in my opinion. Maybe they were waiting for Udoka to become available. Maybe they had to talk to Boston behind the scenes and get that all sorted out. I don't know if that's what the case is. But for them to fire him so early, I think you should have just honored KD's wishes in the first place, and you wouldn't have had to go through the whole KD trade scenario and all of that. You could have avoided yourself a lot of headache if you just did what you were meant to do in the offseason instead of doing it during the season.
Marz, do you think it might have been a case of, because remember when KD said this, Udoka wasn't available just yet. Do you think it might have been a case of, hey, we can go get Udoka, so maybe let's get rid of Nash now and work our way to go grab Udoka?
I think that's the only explanation I can think of, because if you're willing to fire your coach at the start of the season after you gave him a preseason and a training camp, which means he's the one who's implemented whatever system he calls that, whatever he was trying to implement, he's the one who went through them with a training camp and a preseason. Now you're going to bring someone in during the season to try to do all of that again and compete for a championship when you could have just done it in the offseason. I think either they had to have been waiting for someone like a Udoka, or they're just really dumb. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they were waiting for Udoka to become available.
Okay. Elder Rufus, talk to us about how you feel and what's your thoughts on this situation.
Yeah, the brothers have covered most of it. I mean, I agree with the other brothers. Instead of Chill, I don't think Nash is a good coach. I hate situations like that because a lot of times the brothers, they don't get situations where they can just jump in a ready-made team that's ready to win a championship. But he got that opportunity, kind of squandered it. I don't think he was innovative. I don't think he was progressive in his thoughts when it came to offense, defense, none of it. I really don't. So I don't think he deserves to be a head coach. And I don't think Udoka deserves to be back in head coaching just yet. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm a little surprised that he's gotten an opportunity so fast. Brooklyn, they still a hot mess to me, in my personal opinion. They have talent, but that roster's flawed. It's imbalanced, and they still need to make some moves so they can actually be contenders. And to me, when you're spending that kind of money, that's the only thing that matters. You have to be in a position to win a championship. Second round, even getting to the conference finals, there's no solace in that. There's no comfort in that. You spending this kind of money, you going in this luxury tax, you being a repeat offender of the luxury tax. You got to be willing to win. So they're pretty much all in to do what KD done asked them to do. And to me, it would have looked better for them if they just would have capitulated and gave KD what he asked for in the beginning and not make this stuff come public. Because we know KD told the guy this stuff privately. So they put it out there publicly to try to embarrass KD and get leverage through the media. Now you look like buffoons because you're giving KD every single thing he asked for. So my next question is, what's up with Sean Marks? Because I remember correctly, he didn't just say Steve Nash. He said Sean Marks too. And saying Sean Marks, I'm assuming that's more on the Kyrie situation, because he's the ones in control of giving out extensions and all of that. Because KD, who do you have? Who do you still have to move forward in the future with you in Brooklyn besides Ime now? You know what I mean? Once that becomes official, you still need a running mate. You still need better players around you. That roster, I hear some say that roster is great. I don't think it is. I don't think their roster is great. I could think of 5 or 6 teams, in my personal opinion, in the East, not the West, in the East, that have better rosters 1 through 15 than the Brooklyn Nets got. So they still got work to do, in my personal opinion.
So
even
if that's
with this hire.
So if that's true, like I said, Steve Nash did jump the line, right? So even though he doesn't have any head coaching experience, he jumped the line because he was basically a workout guy. And as a workout guy and a point guard in the NBA, you got a lot of point guards in the NBA who have become good coaches.
That's
and
true.
They looked at Steve Nash as that. However, to counter Marz's point, well, this is why we're in this situation in the first place. Who endorsed Steve Nash? It was Irv and it was KD. Those were the 2 guys who endorsed him. In fact, they wanted him there. Not only did
I hear that's not true though, brother.
That's absolutely true.
The KD endorsement is not true. There's a difference from saying, hey, you know what, if that's the way you want to go, or me coming to you saying, this is who I want. If I come to you and say, this is who I want, that's an endorsement. Well, what I've heard, that ain't what KD and them did. They had other people that they wanted. Him and Kyrie came with different coaches from what I heard.
So if that's true.
Then when they turned him down, they said, well, this is what we want to go. What you think of him? And he was like, cool, I'm good with him too. But that's not an endorsement.
That sounds like
That's
an
not
endorsement to me.
That's
That's exactly what it sounds like to me. If this is the guy that you want to go with, bet, then let's do it. I'm down with that. As opposed to no, because you just told me that there are guys that they actually had in mind and they were like no. So if they saying no, if they saying no, then that's no. KD and Irv both. The word was that both KD and Irv endorsed Steve Nash, and in the process of them endorsing Steve Nash, now they're the ones who are getting Steve Nash out of there. Now they're the ones who want Marz out of there, which tells me that these guys are the ones who are running things. What happened to the Pat Rileys of the world, right? What happened to the general managers, the Greg Popoviches of the world, who tell these guys, yo, you do your job and let me do my job, right? Mm-hmm. Let me do my job, because this thing was doomed from the start. When I heard Kyrie Irving say, well, we really don't need a coach. So when he says something like we really don't need a coach, that tells me right from the beginning that I don't know where this thing is going. I'm not sure. I don't think Steve Nash is a bad coach. I do think he can coach. I just think he jumped the line. And in the process of him jumping the line, he was put in a position where he just wasn't ready yet. Now, this could be, like I said, this could be a career killer for him, because Derek Fisher had no business coaching the New York Knicks. Can Derek Fisher coach? I don't know, but he ain't had no business coaching the New York Knicks. And in the process of him doing that and them being as bad as they were, you saw what happened to him. The Brooklyn Nets, as of today, with hiring Udoka, they're on their 6th coach in 10 years. What kind of success can you have as a franchise, as an organization, when you got that kind of turnover? You can't.
Yo, but Ticket, my bad, chill. This is my next question for you, though. Now they just hired Udoka. Is this their coach moving forward?
Is that? Are we sure on that? Are we 100% sure on that?
That's the reports.
I'm on here. I'm on, because not only am I seeing on like the timeline that it's not 100% sure, like he's not 100%. Like he's just like, that's just like the talks right now.
Right. We don't want to say that this is the guy when it's not the guy. We don't want to say that.
And
no,
then, you know, and then on top of that,
the Nets are progressing on hiring him.
But then I just heard from Nets Daily, like the like one of the more reliable sources from Brooklyn. They're now leaking information about what Udoka was doing with the Celtics.
Right.
And now they're saying that like they just leaked information about how he was repeatedly giving inappropriate messages to women. Right. With women, like multiple women.
Right. Which we all knew that anyway, Lo.
I didn't know. No, I didn't. It wasn't solidified. It was multiple women.
The situation in Boston when I heard reports, this thing was way worse than what they told us from the beginning. Way worse than what they told us. But the Brooklyn Nets, they've basically got the same business model as the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks had 5 different coaches in 9 years. And in the process of them doing that, they had 4, count them guys, 4 50-loss seasons. And the Brooklyn Nets, with them continuing to have this kind of turnover, there's not going to be any success there. Add that to the fact that you got the players running this thing. And if you have the players running this thing, what is my job as the general manager? This is the question that I had a time ago when I asked, does Marz have the stones to tell Kyrie Irving, to tell Kevin Durant, sit there, let me do my job and be cool? Like Mitch Kupchak said to Kobe Bryant, I'm not trading you.
I mean, technically speaking, he did it, but I mean, you can do it, but you just need to have a plan though when you do it. And I think that's the problem what KD had, is that it just felt like nobody had a plan. Like it was just like there were just things that are being done that really may not have made that much sense. And to be fair to KD, and I've said this even in my video, if you look at everything that happened leading up to the final year, like not the final, the year before, they were like letting players go and not bringing players back just off of money concerns, without then like finding like resourceful replacements. And then at the end of the year, you sitting here being hesitant about giving Kyrie his contract. It's like you at the beginning of the season, you were just trimming out contract fat. Then we lost James Harden in the middle of the season, so you don't have to worry about giving him a contract. So there really is no problem. There shouldn't be really any issue with giving Kyrie a contract at all if that's the route in which you wanted to go. And so I agree that it may have came across, and to be fair to Sean Marks in the front office and Josiah and them, that they did have the gumption to come out and say, hey, we're going to just tell Kevin Durant no, right? And they were trying to set that precedent in the organization. Like, we're going to tell players no that because we run this. But don't say no just for the sake of trying to poke your chest out. You need to have a plan backing that as well. And so now you just look dumb. Like you just look mad foolishness. Because even if you were waiting on somebody like a reliable coach to become available, which FYI Quinn Snyder lost his job, so I think he was also available as well. Mm-hmm. But you still just doing it 6-7 games into the regular season, bro. Everything that you just built in that one off season that they've been together to try to build continuity, it's out of the window now. It's all out the window. So yeah, I don't know. The Nets do suck though. The Nets suck. They just terrible.
It's just a bad organization the way it's ran, from them giving away all of those picks for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce to the way that they have their coaches. All of this stuff is just being compounded by the way that they're running things. No doubt about that. And when I look at the way that I look at Brooklyn and their foundation, Sean Marks actually
No.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Music. Cut the music. What did I tell you, clowns? I told you, clowns, 3 months ago. All 3 of you, all 4 of you. I told you, dudes. And Chill up here, just the capologist that he is, bro. Chill up here. Nah, Ticket, man, I can't see him ain't getting no job, man. He ain't gonna hire. I told you, clowns. When you guys bet, always bet on Ticket, man. Well, everybody in the comment section, oh, man, who's talking to Ticket crazy, man? Ticket know what the hell he talking about. Ticket know what the hell he talking about.
First of all, Ticket, first of all, it wasn't a career killer what Udoka did. Let's make sure we clear about that.
But you were sitting there saying that they wasn't going to hire him.
Right. I was saying that he wasn't going to get a job right away, and nobody thought that he was going to get a job right away.
I told you he was. I told you he was. Hold on. Rewind the tape. I told you. I said, bro, they're going to fire Steve Nash at the beginning of the season and hire Ime Udoka. You guys told me I was crazy. And then everybody in the comment section believed that foolishness when they should be riding with your boy.
I did tell you
straight
that.
Up. Huh?
I did tell you that. I did say that. I'll admit I did tell you were crazy.
Yeah, everybody said that too. Everybody told me I was crazy. And listen, here's the thing, right? This is the crazy part right here. And me and Elder talked about this earlier today. They ain't even asking no compensation for the dude. You know why? Because at the end of the day, bro, there was nothing that they could really do about it, man. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't really gonna try to push the issue with him. They ain't want to get into no nasty legal situation with him because we don't know what happened with the woman. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he got some evidence too. You feel what I'm saying? So it would have got ugly. So the best thing is let him go and let him do his job. Ime won. Like I told y'all, he kept Nia alone. Now what he did was wrong. I agree with Elder and all y'all on that. What he did was wrong, Chill. Low, all y'all. But he kept Nia alone. She ain't leave him. He got to do whatever he did with all them chicks in Boston, right? Then he gets fired, and not even 2 weeks to the season, he gets rehired with a better job and more money. Man, Ime Udoka is the winner of the year already.
It's not a better job.
And I don't know if he getting more money either.
But also, Sean Marks just said that they have not came to a conclusion about Udoka yet. He said no, absolutely not.
Of course, he's gonna say that. Sure,
I know, but it's not. All I'm saying is like we're jumping to the conclusion. There's nobody who said yes to this yet.
And hold on for a second. Ticket did tell us that the Boston Celtic crowd is going to be the crowd calling for Udoka. He didn't say nothing about Brooklyn. I remember him telling us that.
No, bro. I told you that Brooklyn was going to sign him. I said the Boston Celtic crowd when they start. Listen, I said when they start losing. I said the Boston Celtics crowd was going to be saying Ime. I said, but Brooklyn, Cade and all of them was already working on this. Cade and them been working on this. This just didn't happen. They've been working on getting Ime behind the scenes. Well, that's Steve Nash knew about this.
Steve Nash getting him and Brooklyn going their separate ways. We know that this didn't just happen today. We know that this was something that was in the works. No question. I ain't gonna fight that.
The other problem is that Ime was already a part of the team before. Like he was assistant. He was assistant in year one with Nash.
So why even go? So why
that's what I'm saying. Like,
why let him go to Boston? Why not just hire him right here?
But that's why I'm saying where I'm like that's why I go back to like the organization is just
after year one, ain't that when they lost on the toenail shot by old boy?
But what I'm saying is why not just hire him instead of Nash?
You don't have a reason to fire Nash.
I'm saying why even hire Nash if Udoka is already somebody who has assistant coaching experience, especially under Popovich. Why not just hire him? They had Udoka and D'Antoni on the bench, and they still decided to hire Nash.
Because them kind of guys, those kind of guys, they never get those kind of jobs either, though. You're not seeing any of those guys get those jobs where a team is expecting to win a championship.
But God, you're also
they don't come in and get those jobs.
The most important part. You're also forgetting the most important part. That offseason when they got, are you talking about when they got KD and Kyrie? They wanted Nash.
That's what we said earlier. And then,
when I wasn't here. Oh, okay. You said that already. Okay.
But also,
like no, but you're saying why did they hire Udoka?
Yeah. But what I heard behind the scenes, that wasn't their first choice. Steve Nash wasn't their first choice. They pretty much came to them and told them, well, this is who we want to go with. And they were like, cool, we'll take it. But they weren't endorsing those guys. They had other guys that they wanted before.
They were trying to push Mark Jackson. They were trying to push Mark Jackson, but they wasn't going for Mark Jackson. And
Kyrie wanted the cat from the Lakers, didn't he? He wanted the Lakers guy.
Kyrie wanted Phil Handy, and then KD was pushing. KD was pushing for KD was pushing for old boy for Mark Jackson. But what happened was the team they wasn't gonna move on to Mark Jackson. Ain't nobody trying to move on Mark Jackson. I told you, Ime Udoka had a better chance of getting a job after everything he did than Mark Jackson, which is crazy. But at the end of the day, this is how the world goes. But at the end of the day, I told y'all, Fluent, what's up, baby? What's going on, man? I told you, Ime, who stroked you, was gonna get a job.
Okay.
I told you, man. Okay. Oh, man.
Who stroked you? He definitely.
Right, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how they gonna navigate this though, boy.
Yeah, but Ticket. That's the question I want to ask you next. They let's say they proceed forward. They do hire MA. What does this change for Brooklyn? Does it now make them an instant championship?
Oh, he's already hired. First of all, he's already hired. He'll be announced after the game tonight. They'll announce that he's a new coach tomorrow. So he's already hired. The contract already been finalized. He's already hired. They're gonna wait till after this game with Jock Vaughn to make the announcement. He changes everything because the first thing he's gonna do is when he goes in there, they're gonna make personnel moves, right? Now, when you think about personnel moves, and also he brings a lot more attention to the detail of defense, bro. It's not that KD and them guys can't play D, bro. Them dudes ain't trying to play D, man. And sometimes you need a coach that's gonna get on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big difference. Like let's take a perfect example. Everybody jumped on me for the first week of the NBA because the Lakers started out slow. But what's the one thing we seen from the Lakers? The Lakers playing D this year that has kept them in every single game. That shows you that Darvin Ham has the attention and the respect of the team. They just can't shoot. But once they get a couple shooters, the Lakers going to be what I said they're going to be now that they got Russ in his right role. Now, let's go to the Brooklyn Nets. When you're looking at Ime Udoka, man, Ime Udoka's going to he comes from under that Popovich tree. He understands how to coach the game, bro. He understands personnel and things and adjustments they have to make. He knows that they have to go get a different type of personnel and make a couple moves in order to tweak up that roster. That roster is not good enough right now to win a championship. But I will say this, they will be playing Giannis in the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals now. Because I listen, I think Ime Udoka is that damn good of a coach. If you watch the adjustment he made in Boston, when that team was in disarray in the first half of the season, and he got on to flip the switch and turn it all the way around, he pushed all the right buttons all the way through the playoffs. And listen, he was tested. It wasn't like he was up every series. He was down series coming back and coaching them back to wins in those series. So you got to give him credit. Good scouting, good defensive game plan, understands how to take guys out of their game, understands how to break down film and take your strengths away from you. He knows everything that Jason Tatum and them guys want to do. So the Boston Celtics, to me, listen, you would have them as a slight favorite right now, but by the end of the season, the Boston Celtics ain't going to be a better team than the Brooklyn Nets. You watch what I tell you, bro. Ime Udoka's worth his dollar, man. I watch this guy coach. He know what he's doing, bro.
So let me make sure I'm understanding this from Low and from Ticket. I want to make sure I'm understanding this. So I got KD, who's in year 16, and I got Kyrie Irving, who's in year 12. These guys are who they are. But Udoka's going to come in, and he's going to turn these guys around, and he's going to turn them into defenders, and he's going to turn this team into a defensive juggernaut. Now, just so you know, Ticket, this Laker team that you were talking about, when Vogel was coaching them, they were at the top of the league defensively. Let's make sure that we 100% clear on that. They were at the top of the league defensively. They were always a good defensive team. The problem was AD was out of the lineup with injury. James was out of the lineup with injury. That was the problem with that unit. Now, when you talk about this Brooklyn Nets team, everything we've seen from Kevin Durant, everything we've seen from Kyrie Irving, that's it. You're not getting any more. So now you want to sell me that Udoka's going to come in and turn this thing around, and this team is going to be at the top of the East, and they're going to be in the Eastern Conference.
You missed my key words. My key words is, first of all, Ime Udoka is going to tweak that roster some, and then his lineups are going to change. He ain't going to have them same guys in there, and then he ain't stupid enough. Hold on. What you call it said something very smart today. He ain't going to have Ben Simmons trying to guard Giannis, man. Steve Nash had Ben Simmons trying to guard Giannis, bro. That's not finna happen. You supposed to have him guarding the wing. You supposed to have him guarding the elite wings, not no Giannis Antetokounmpo. So they got Ben Simmons out there trying to guard the big man in the league, trying to take attacks on a toe. He guarding out there guarding power forwards out of his position. So you eliminated him. And listen, let's just be honest. The Boston Celtics, they had good defenders on their team, but they wasn't doing anything defensively or offensively until Ime took over midway through the season and just changed the whole team. He was a head coach from the start, but he took over and changed the whole mentality. And they bought in. Listen, my thing is, they got it's gonna be good. Listen, they got a couple moves they can make, bro. Listen, coaching goes a long ways in the NBA, bro.
29th defensive team, a top defensive team.
Coaching, I guarantee you with Ime.
They stink right now.
I guarantee you by the end of the year,
start paying attention to basketball.
I guarantee you at the end of the year, they will be up at 19 defensively. With Ime Udoka. I guarantee you, bro.
That's still a bottom 10.
What about all those dirty little
but hold on. But you're looking at where they're going from. They're last place right now. I'm talking about last place. They'll move up 10 slots. Bro, y'all got to understand something. Coaching means something in the NBA, bro.
Yes, it does.
Sometimes you got to listen. Hold on. Watch this. LeBron's in year 20. Russ is in year 16. Them dudes ain't young. AD is terry cloth. That means he's very soft. But guess what? Here's the thing. When you're a good coach and you understand positioning, when you understand defensive strategy, look at what Darvin Ham has done with the team. So otherwise, dudes who maybe not as great as defenders because of the age. When you're putting dudes,
can we get a timeout on? Can I get a timeout ticket? Because you're talking about guys who played defense.
Thank you.
And were a top defensive team 2 years ago, and last year lacked effort. Darvin Ham got effort out of them, and now yes, they're back as a good defensive team.
The Nets, but you also look at that strategy, bro.
Listen, there's no effort and there's no
Fluent.
You know,
you're looking at strategy. Fluent. Watch this. Let me tell you one thing. You're looking at strategy. When I'm looking at Ime Udoka, I'm looking at strategy. You know what he did? Ime Udoka, I noticed one thing about him. He studies players' games better than a lot of these coaches. He did something that no other coach could do to the KD. He made KD look normal. Nobody did that since 8-9 years ago.
They've had 5 or 6 really good.
But listen. So hold on. So why Brad? So hold on. But why Brad Stevens couldn't get none out of them all in years? It's coaching, bro.
You're right.
Listen,
I agree. We agree with the coaching. We agree.
Okay, so watch this. Okay, so time out. You guys can go. You guys can go against me. You can go against me again, and you'll be wrong again. Now put all your chips to the middle of the table, sucker. I'll put mine, and in the end, where your
chips at with the Lakers?
You tell me where
were your chips at with the Lakers? Where were your chips at the Lakers?
No. Hold on. Time out. Hold on. Wait. The Lakers ain't. Hold on. The Lakers ain't out of it. Hey, listen. Okay. I think now.
So, Ticket, your logic to me right now is at the end of the season, the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to be in the Eastern Conference Championship. That's what you're telling me.
Against Giannis, and they're going to lose against the Greek Freak. They're going to lose against Giannis.
They're going to lose against the Greek Freak. The roster's going to get tweaked, and they're going to lose against the Greek Freak.
Right. They're going to tweak. They're going to tweak that roster. Listen. They're going to tweak that roster, man. That I guarantee you.
Bring in Dwight Howard
before the trade deadline. That won't be the same team.
What's the tweak?
What's the tweak? Hold on. First of all, time out. First of all, I think what he's going to try to do is I think they're going to test this Ben Simmons experiment a little bit more. This doesn't work. They're coming off Ben Simmons before the trade deadline. Now, I don't know what they can get for Ben Simmons, but I know what he's going to target. They got two areas they got to target. They got to get a backup wing that can really help because the guy they got ain't playing, and they got to get another big man that can really help them in the post because they're getting killed on the boards and with post defense. I believe those are the two areas he will target. Listen, Dwight Howard came out and said that they didn't sign him because he couldn't shoot threes.
Right.
Dwight Howard said they didn't sign him because he couldn't shoot three. Guess what? I would go sign Dwight right now. If I'm Brooklyn, I would go because you know why? I ain't putting Ben Simmons on Joel Embiid and them dudes, bro. Who they got? They got Claxton guarding Embiid. Bro, you're gonna get murdered every night.
Okay, now just so you know, Ticket, I want to make sure that we clear. We did this last year, so we ended up bringing in Andre Drummond. because they were soft in the middle last year. They did that last year, and it didn't work. And the reason why it didn't work, and the reason why it didn't work, I think Steve Nash, for his ability to coach, he got himself in a lot of trouble with his ability to coach. I watched them play Toronto. Toronto went on an 11-0 run, and in that 11-0 run, they ended up 7 of those 11 points were second chance points. Their best rebounder, who is Andre Drummond, is on the bench while that's going on. So that's
because
right?
That's because he milks. Hold on. That's because if you watch Andre Drummond's career, he normally milks come playoff time. But see, here's the thing. Dwight Howard is a different type of defender than Andre Drummond. Drummond is a good rebounder. He's not a great post defender when you really look at him. He's a great rebounder, that type of guy. Other than that, you can't really depend on him to do all the other stuff. Dwight Howard, great help side defense from Dwight. If you're playing Dwight 18 minutes a night against Joel Embiid, against those other guys in the East, I believe then now he helps you resolve your problems inside as far as defensively. Now, let's look at the wing problem they got. Yep. They need a wing that they can rely on for at least 17 to 18 minutes a game to help relieve KD.
So
KD is not giving you anything on defense because he's exerting too much energy offensively and he's playing way too many minutes.
That's why they brought Royce O'Neal in. That's why they brought Royce O'Neal.
No, not Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal's a 2. Royce O'Neal's playing a 2. See, that whole thing is wrong. Royce O'Neal is not the guy. They have to get a bigger wing that's going to take minutes to help KD not play 39 minutes a game, bro. You got to get KD's minutes around 35, 34. Look, what Ham's doing, he's getting bronze minutes down. They're winning now because guess what? You bring Russ off the bench. Russ helps your team offensively off the bench because he can do what he do. And guess what that does? That keeps LeBron fresher because if you're playing LeBron too many minutes, guess what's going to happen down the stretch in the fourth quarter? LeBron's going to be gassed. And guess what LeBron's going to do? Take bad step back threes. You know why? Because he doesn't have the energy to continue to go to the basket like he was doing early in the game because he's older and you're playing him too many minutes. That's the reason why the formula that Bud uses, all that stuff that Mr. Marz was talking about, the coach for the Bucks, they actually have a good strategy with Giannis. They don't burn Giannis out. They don't overplay Giannis. And they actually play him enough to where Giannis maximizes the time that he plays in. So they're not over. That's what they have to do with KD, bro. KD's playing 39, 40 minutes a game. Year 16, he's scoring the points. He ain't got nothing on D. You got to cut that out, bro.
Marz, do you have a rebuttal to that before we move on?
I don't know what that has to do with my take on Coach Bud and Giannis. The minutes was never something I spoke about, but
you said he wasn't using Giannis right, clown. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the world. The Bucks are undefeated without Chris Middleton. And you, sir, would you like sugar or cream in your tea? Answer that question, boy. And don't you forget, November the 25th, you had your ass there, boy. Don't bring no notes. Don't bring no pencil. Don't bring no paper. Just bring your brain and bring your ass, and I'm going to step on it.
The reason the Bucks have been so good is because they've actually changed their defense this year. They're not giving up as many threes. If you watch the games, you'll see they're not giving up as many wide open threes, and their defense looks a lot better. Plus, Brook Lopez being back helps. Their offense still hasn't been great. They're still using Giannis in a way that, to me, isn't going to be great in the playoffs, but we'll see how it looks with Chris Middleton back. They're like a middle-of-the-pack offensive team right now, but their defense has been so great with Brook Lopez and the fact they're actually closing out to the three-point line this year. That's why they've looked so great so far this year. But that, once again, had nothing to do with my take on how Giannis was being used. And how he's being used hasn't really changed offensively. So I still have the same question marks. But I'm going to wait for Chris Middleton to be back before I jump off a cliff. And I don't just react to 5 games. But you can do what you're doing. I don't mind.
I'm going to be honest with you. Ticket is basically expecting somebody to be a miracle worker. Because, bro, I understand what he's saying, but
what about this Brooklyn offense with one move suggests that, this team is not a team to beat in the East?
But what's the move, though?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, I don't like this.
What move in the East?
It's just not.
What move on this roster? Let's take Claxton off and trade him for, I don't know. If we take Claxton out, or if we put a package together.
You can keep Claxton on and add Dwight Howard, like he said. That defense is still a bottom 10 defense. You can add another wing.
Said they wanted a shooter. They wanted a stretch big. That's why they didn't hire. Dwight said that the reason they didn't take him because he can't make threes. So they don't want a Dwight Howard. They want a stretch
No,
three.
but what I'm
I
saying
mean,
is
That's to
you
try and
can
cater
do-
for Ben Simmons. That's
you
what
you
that's
can
all
you can
about.
do anything you. What I'm saying is you can do anything you want to do with this team. You can add Dwight. You can keep him. You can add a stretch. Like it doesn't. There's so many problems with this team that adding a player or two just isn't going to fix them. Especially when we're talking about so many defensive deficiencies on this roster. So like. I understand like they can make some tweaks, but the tweaks that they're doing are players that are not signed yet, and they're not signed for a reason. So like I mean, unless you want Ime Udoka to be a miracle worker, I just don't see how this is ever going to manifest into a quality team. And before we move on, Ron, I just quickly, it's not just that the Nets are bad defensively, like they're historically bad defensively. That's the problem. They are as of I haven't checked it right now, but before the last game, they were literally the worst defensive team in NBA history. So it's not just that they are the worst team defensively in the league. They're so bad that even if you add another piece to it, it might take them from the worst all time to just relatively the second or first worst team in the NBA defensively this year. Like that's all that move is going to do. So they just have a lot of deficiencies, and they don't really have much else to do on this roster when you're only two defenders are Claxton and Simmons, and they have to like cover everybody's deficiencies while also rebound and also give help. And they're the only players on the team that play defense and that are taller than 6'6". Like they just have way too much responsibility, and I don't really see even adding a Dwight Howard on a roster. Like even if hypothetically Dwight is on a team and he can shoot 38% from three, that is not enough to change these problems on this roster at all.
Absolutely. Well, we're definitely going to closely monitor this situation. Next Tuesday, we'll have more concrete information on who exactly will be the Nets coach, and we'll be sure to dive into that. Also, you guys asked for it. We're going to do it today. All-time draft. Y'all L hosted me to death, but I got you today. Also, it's been a lot that went on this week. We will continue to get into that. But before we do that, I have a start bench cut for you guys right now. We've been talking about coaches this whole time, so I have a coaches edition start bench cut. We have Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson, and Steve Kerr. Fluent, I want to hear from you first.
Me first?
You first.
Who we got? Pop, Jackson, and Kerr?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start Pop. I'm bench Phil, and I'm gonna cut Kerr.
Okay. Marz, how do you feel?
I agree with Fluent's start bench cut.
Okay, chill.
You're on mute.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, mute.
I got you. You good to go. You good.
I'm flipping that around. I'm starting Phil. I'm benching Pop, and I'm cutting Steve Kerr. Phil Jackson was the manager. Tex Winters was the X and O guy. As good as an X and O guy is, that doesn't work without a good manager. And Phil was the great manager for that group. Greg Popovich was more of a no nonsense kind of guy, and it did work. Him being more of a no nonsense kind of guy, and Steve Nash. Steve Kerr. He was a disciple of Greg Popovich. So
he was both of those guys.
Yeah, he was a disciple of both. He was a disciple of both of those guys. So he wasn't better than both of those guys. So he's the odd man out.
Lo, where are you going? Who are you starting? Who you benching? Who you cutting?
I agree. Steve Kerr has to get cut, even though I think he's worked himself into like a really, really good coach, but he's getting cut. I'm gonna start Popovich and bench Phil.
Okay. Elder, something tells me you might go a little different direction. How you feeling?
Yep. I'm starting Phil. I'm benching Steve, and I'm cutting Pop.
What?
Talk to us.
Look at Marz.
I never liked Pop. I never liked Pop being a Laker fan, but I think Steve has actually done more in less time. He's been more dominant as a coach, And Pop can't say he didn't have all the superstars and all those other guys had, but he's been more dominant in my personal opinion. I think he's more of a Steve is more, what's the word I want to use?
Innovative,
more flexible, innovative, and versatile. Yeah, he is.
Then Popovich?
Pop has a system. He gets guys that fit that system if you don't buy. Now, Kerr, he adjusted a little bit more in my personal opinion.
What is he adjusted on?
All the championships that he's won. He's had to adjust in all of them.
What
Basically, all
After
Steve Kerr.
losing, coming back. Hold on, it's an adjustment once you lose a chip and you come back and win again. You ain't adjusted nothing to win.
So then, you saying Popovich didn't do that?
The adjustment was getting
everything right.
Yeah, the adjustment was getting KD. That was the adjustment.
No. What was last year? What was last year? He didn't have KD last year. What was that last year?
They ran a similar set that they were running back in 2015.
Again, it ain't a system like Pop. It's not a system. It's not a system like Phil Jackson had with the triangle.
Popovich system, the system that Popovich ran.
Hey, homie.
Yeah,
hey, homie.
Pop system changed a lot more.
Hey, you gave your opinion. I let you give your opinion. I didn't care what you said.
But that's the thing. I
No, what you saying is just factually incorrect, though.
Time frame.
Right, but
hold on. Pop took 20 years to get his 5 chips, right?
He didn't have Kevin Durant.
Okay,
Steph Curry,
right. That's correct. He did. Right, correct.
Yes or no?
Correct. He did.
You said he didn't have Kevin Durant. The nigga had Tim Duncan. What are you talking about?
But keep going.
I just told you Kevin Durant, Steph Curry.
And
he had Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond, and Klay Thompson on the same roster.
That's what I said. The same thing. I don't have to keep repeating it. I think he's been more. I think he's adjusted more. I think he's been more flexible. He's been more innovative.
And the reason why he's been that,
you watching basketball with a TV turned
on. The reason why he's been that is because he implemented both the triangle and Greg Popovich's offense into his offense.
Well, no, don't forget he also stole D'Antoni's offense. He took all three.
Here's the thing. All those guys. Hey, hold on. Everybody has mentors. Everybody has.
No, I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying. I'm saying Steve Kerr. Yes, Steve Kerr seems flexible because he took 3 guys.
Like they created coaching. They didn't. Everybody gets something from somebody.
Right.
He took it to another level. He took theirs when he got to another level.
I don't know if he took it to that level. I guess
that's fine.
I
would still bench.
He did. Marz, he didn't make it.
I'm not benching Pop over.
Popovich's system drastically changed from 2000 to 2007.
I don't like him anyway. I don't
like
his
system changed from 07 to 24.
Feelings over facts.
That's all it is. That's what it is. As a Laker fan, it's feelings over facts. That's all it is.
No. I still gave my reason.
No,
but
your logic
said, I don't like Pop.
Exactly, your logic doesn't work though, Elder.
I said that first that I don't like. That's hey, hold on, it do work. You act like he had. Hold on. All these coaches have been successful and won multiple championships. Yes or no?
That's correct.
That's why they're in.
And with that being said,
that's why they're in the conversation right now. Though. We're not saying they're bad coaches.
No, we're not saying that. No, we're not saying that at all. No, we're not saying that they're bad coaches. However, we only seen Steve Nash. Well, I keep saying Steve Nash. I'm sorry. We only seen Steve Kerr. We only seen Steve Kerr with the current system that he was in. Just so you know, Greg Popovich did not have David Robinson for 20 years. No, he did not. Right? He did not have. He had to transition from Avery Johnson to Tony Parker. He had to transition, he had to transition from all of these guys to new guys, right? Phil Jackson had to transition from Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen to Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. And a wise man once told me. Now you can say that all you want, Tone, because a wise man once told me anybody can train a secretary. You can screw them up too, though. Let's make sure we clear on that.
I wonder
you can definitely screw them up. I don't care because there's plenty of guys who have had good players. A prime example would be Steve Nash. Steve Nash has had really good players. And how's this work for him?
Again,
Phil Jackson is just their yoga coach without winners. Come on,
and produce with them in a shorter period of time. And let the people tell it. This is the toughest year. He's had to do it against more superstars and more all-stars and all that.
It's tough because of the team he coached, though. It's his team that makes it tougher. What are we saying right now?
It'd be interesting to see Steve Kerr on a team that isn't very good.
No, we can have Steve Kerr.
Hold on, time out. I don't see none of those guys winning on a team that ain't that good.
That ain't
Phil
true.
didn't take no sorry team and win. Pop didn't take a sorry team and win. None of them did.
If I'm not mistaken,
which one of those guys won with a sorry team?
Won a championship.
Nobody won with a
terrible team. Which one of them got to a conference final with a sorry team? Which one?
I would say Dunk. I would say Pop did it, but
Well, I'm not even gonna go with. I'm not even gonna go with. I'm not even gonna go
What
with
year
Pop.
did Pop get a starring team to the
2000,
Western Conference?
2003 is
2003 was
the
not a
best
good
argument
team.
for
It was
any
just
of these
Duncan and a bunch of pips.
Oh my God.
What's the best? That's the best
Wait a
argument
minute,
you can make.
wait a
for
minute.
any
What-
team.
That ain't no
what-
argument. That's
I wouldn't say it was a bad team, but that's
That 98 team was great. Is that 99 team? Elder was great with Avery Johnson and Sean Elliott. That was a great team. That's what you're telling me.
They won. What are you talking about?
Okay, they did
So what
win.
was the point of the question?
That's not a great team. 03 was also not a great team. It was not.
And if they win, they're a
Why
great
are we
team.
switching the? Hold on. Why are we switching the? It wasn't about being a great team. It was taking a bad team. That team was bad,
In my opinion, 2003 Spurs is just Duncan. David Robinson was at the end of his career. Tony Parker managed Ginobili, rookies and sophomores. He had little to no experience. That was not a good team.
I totally disagree.
And as soon as Duncan got hurt 2 years ago, they couldn't even make it past the first round.
Elder, you know that San Antonio team that won the NBA championship in 2003. The year before that, the Lakers beat them in 5 games. The year before that, swept them out the playoffs. The same crew. By the way, same crew.
And in a year before, without Tim Duncan, they couldn't make out the first round.
Team that has won the NBA championship that was a bad team.
2003 Spurs.
Not one.
2003.
Yo,
retarded.
Delroy, I need to hear your take on
Weren't you the same guy who said
JTL
JTL was a wing defender? Oh, okay.
Yo,
He's a wing defender.
Yo, Dale, I need to hear your start bench cut between Greg Pop, Steve Kerr, and Phil Jackson. And now that Dale's here, we will be getting into a draft next. You guys make sure to like the video, and we're going to continue to give y'all primetime content. Go ahead, Dale.
I saw that last draft. That was a joke.
I hate drafts. I'm starting Pop. I'm benching Phil, and I'm cutting Steve.
A man with taste. I like it.
Yeah, that's Fluent.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got anything else to say on this?
I'm good.
All right.
They all great coaches.
Let's dive into these super chats. My man Julius Irvin, he said Cade over.
What is he then?
Green, Maxey, Barnes, Mobley, and Barrett. Stop.
Hell no.
Wait, why can't he be?
I'm taking Cade over all those guys.
I was about to say maybe not Jalen Green. Jalen Green looking nice, but
I'm not
all of them.
I'm
a Jalen Green stan, so I'm
Jalen Green ceiling is absurd.
I love Cade, but I'm not taking him over
all of them.
I thought that Tyrese Maxey. I think he's Darius Garland good. I think he's. I think he's DeJounte.
Wait, OG, what are you saying right now?
I'm about to say.
You saying Maxey over Cade?
No, what I'm saying is I was ready. All of y'all up here, I'm sure you were, when James Harden this summer was talking about re-signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. I was ready to let him walk. I wanted to get the ball to Maxey. I wanted to give the ball to Maxey and let him run it. And the reason why I was ready to do that is simply because of where he was. He's being coached by Doc Rivers, and the assistant coach is Sam Cassell. So he's basically at point guard university. So there was no way that this thing could go the other way with him. He would have done nothing but gotten better. So I was so much willing to give them I was so much willing to give Tyrese Maxey the basketball and let James Harden just be who James Harden is and just go. Because I think that Tyrese Maxey has a great upside. Now, Cade Cunningham, is he a franchise player in Detroit? He looks like he is. But as far as him being better than all those other guys, I don't know if I want to go that far.
Who's the player then?
I don't know if I want to go that far.
Which player on that list is better?
Which player then?
I'm not
saying right now or ceiling.
I'm taking Cade over
even right now. Who's better than who right now?
Definitively.
If I put Maxey on that,
definitively.
That's what I'm saying. If I put Maxey on that Detroit team, I don't know if Cade is that much better than him.
So you are saying that Maxey. So that's what you're saying.
So you are thinking Maxey is a little better.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I think he's in a better. I think Cade is in a better system. But I look at Maxey and I'm thinking to myself, I think he's a lead guard in the game, and I think that he could be better. I think he's more athletic. I think he's a better transition player. I think he's more athletic, and I dig Maxey, no doubt about that.
No, he's good. He's good.
I think he got a better upside.
He got a better team too.
And I love Cade. Don't get me wrong, but I like Maxey.
Yo,
It's
you
hard
think he
for
has
me
a
to
better
pick.
upside than
Barnes on
Cade?
that list.
Who?
Yeah, Scotty Barnes is on that list.
Yeah,
Barnes,
Scotty
was
Barnes.
he on
Yeah,
that
Scotty
list?
Barnes. He said Scotty Barnes too.
Yeah, I'm taking him too.
Yeah, in the last five games, just to give a little bit of context, Maxey has had games of 28, 44, and 31. So he has been showing out so far this season. But
That doesn't count too. Those games were against Toronto. He has their number. Don't be giving me those numbers.
See, that's so
man.
corny, man.
No,
you
Because
got to
he
score
scored
against
against
somebody.
You know why he was the only reason why Tone
No,
said that is because it's Toronto. Because if it was Portland or if it was Oklahoma City, you wouldn't hear that from Tone. The only reason why he's saying that because it's Toronto. Give me a break, Tone.
He always burns them. Go back and
Give me a
look.
break.
Go back and look. Boy,
Next
Max.
super chat from Chooch0918. He
Chooch.
said, can't wait for the MA chance in Brooklyn. And
Those
on that
are-
note,
those are
Dale,
disgusting chants. Oh my
Dale,
God.
I need to hear your thoughts on this Brooklyn Nets situation with Steve
First
Nash.
and foremost, those are bad chants for sure.
Those are terrible chants. those are the nastiest chants I've ever heard.
I'm a huge fan of the hire. It's because win, lose, or draw, I always told people, even before last year, if Nash could have went 82-0, and I still would have think he was a bad coach. I just never believed in the stuff, some of the stuff Steve Nash did. So it was a surprise to me. It was a surprise to me that it was this. I want to say this early, but for us, it's probably early. They probably, like they said, been talking prior before. And I think it's only best because your two best players have a coach I want to say they probably respect. And that goes a long way in the locker room. And I guess as they have been performing on the court, but they haven't been winning. They've just been doing their jobs, but they have to get wins. So I think Ime could, and they probably give him a little spunk on the defensive end too as well, with whatever strategy and culture he comes with. So I'm a huge fan of the Ime hire, and I'm let's see where it goes from here. Before he hired, I still had them losing to the like I always say, I still had them losing in the championship to the Warriors in 5 games. So
Rewind. You had Brooklyn in the NBA championship?
Yes, before. Yes.
Of course he did. KD's on the roster. Come on,
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I keep
What are we
forgetting.
saying?
KD's
Come on,
in
now. The best
my
player in
fault.
the NBA is on the roster. Come on.
Yeah, my fault.
And the greatest skill guard of all time is on that roster too. Kyrie, come on. You know something about skills.
My fault. I apologize.
It's bad talk.
Ron, could you pin that or TikTok that, whatever Lo said? It was a good move. Thanks, Anita.
And KD might need it too when he get clamped up in the playoffs again. Who knows, man?
Hey, we'll see.
KD's gonna be calling this boy. What's the guy's name? Tell them we out in the first round again.
Oh man.
Mike James.
We call his friend overseas, man.
Why you guys don't like the hire? I saw a tidbit of some stuff that was going. I didn't see everybody full take. I know y'all probably don't want to get back in it. I
don't even know if the hire is completed yet.
It's not official yet.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I don't mind Ime Udoka. I just don't think he'll change. I mean, he's not a miracle worker. I mean, he's not Jesus.
I don't think it's a good roster outside of.
Yeah, it's the roster. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, you don't think it's a good roster?
Yeah.
Outside of KD and Kyrie,
Not a
I think there's not a championship roster. Not a championship roster. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
That's what we had. It wasn't the coaching. It was just the roster.
And as good as Udoka is as a coach, Dell, there's certain things that we can't mask. It's like, for example, we can't hide Ben Simmons. We can't do it. We can
Can
try.
I ask you a question before you go there? How much better is the Bucks roster better than the Brooklyn Nets, and why?
Oh,
Are you
wow.
Just answer me the question, please.
Okay. Oh, so
We're gonna go player by player or whatever. We could just ask. That's
right.
Tell me, please.
So when I look at the Bucks roster, so
no. Don't just tell me the players. That's so much better than who the Nets.
it's not necessarily the. Here's the thing, Odell. Go ahead, Tone. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I was only saying.
It's not solely about just the players individually. It's how they come together as a unit.
Okay.
That's the most important thing.
So it's a better fit. The roster's a better fit.
And
more balance.
Yeah.
More balance.
Okay, you guys. I could have. Okay, the roster's better. When you say better rest, I'm just saying. I think that Brooklyn Nets have a lot of talent.
Yeah, if you go talent for talent, player by player, you're right. The Nets are probably very talented. But when you look at a collective unit, the Bucks are better.
So who doesn't fit on the Brooklyn Nets? And let's ask that because it's not the roster y'all saying that's way better. Y'all saying the fit is better.
Okay, so we could start with Ben Simmons. And the reason why we can start with Ben Simmons simply because we can't hide him. Offensively, he is not a threat at all. Defensively, he's very good, but offensively, he's not a threat at all. Number two, with Claxton, I don't think Claxton is a starting center on a championship caliber unit. I don't think I think that he's a good bat. I think he's a good reserve, but I don't think he's a starting center. I
agree with that. Add that to the fact I don't think Brook Lopez is also a starting center. Even you guys might do, but I don't. But we can continue.
I mean, we already established that though because he won a championship as a starting center.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You could say that. You could say that and say, yeah.
I like him.
No, I don't know what you mean, Dale. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
I have no idea what you mean.
Okay, so you don't think
that protects the rim. Why is he not a starting center?
You say he protects the rim?
He looks like he's going to be an all-league defender this year. He looks like he's going to be an all-league defender.
He is a suitable center for that.
Yeah, I don't understand why he would not be a starting center.
He does. I don't know what.
Not only that, Dale.
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all why right now.
Not only that, though, Dale. Just so you know who the
Brook Lopez, right? This goes to my whole point. Brook Lopez was on the Brooklyn Nets last year. He wouldn't have played.
Why not?
Because Steve Nash was coaching and he wouldn't have played him. Exactly the point. So what I'm saying is the fit of a coach of a culture and how things goes. Like I don't.
Oh, he leads the league in blocks. Wow.
You said what?
I'm reading in the chat. They said he leads the league in blocks right now.
Brook Lopez.
Brook Lopez. Yeah.
It's 7 games in, and if
but to your point though, Dale, like you were saying about him coaching. Go ahead.
I just feel like it's more of a culture thing with some of these stuff with the roster and to make it look better. This is where I think Udoka could come in and just make a culture change and the fit of the player they respect. Like when you say this thing about Claxton, when I think of starting centers and when they play of championship teams, I'm just thinking of what I grew up with mostly all-stars and centers and all that stuff. So if you want to say, oh, no, they won the championship as him to start a center, fine. Last year, he wasn't getting no tick to Bobby Portis also starting. So in a year, like last year, the whole world was dissing Brook Lopez.
Well, you got to take under consideration. I was just about to say that. He just came off a back. Yeah, he came off a back surgery. Don't leave that out.
He was not 100%.
He just came off a back surgery.
He wasn't 100%.
Okay, perfect.
In the season, it wasn't like it was 2 years ago.
He only played back surgery that year.
Perfect. Yeah. Ben Simmons just came off a back surgery.
He missed the whole season last year, though. That's not the same thing.
No, but Dale, I agree with you. That's why I said I actually don't think he's that good of a defender. I don't think he
did have back surgery.
He had it this summer too.
Talking about Ben Simmons like he's it's only 7 games.
Right.
I agree with you, Dale. I don't think Simmons is.
All I'm saying is,
I don't think it's probably
know that about Brook. So I'm sorry, I didn't know Brook had what's name last year, but I know many people would rather Bobby Portis in at the time last year than Brook. So when y'all say he's a starter, solidified, I'm like, all right, I get it. Now he's cooking these first 7 games, but let's just see where it goes. Basically.
But even that's the reason why I don't think Simmons is actually that good of a defender so far. If you watch him play, like he's clearly, he's clearly not like. And then also we later learned that he has a knee problem. But even beyond that, they don't have any length on the perimeter. Steve Nash, and I agree with you on this about the coaching. Steve Nash is running way too switch heavy sets. He's putting smaller guards on bigger players, which Siakam, Luka, and Giannis are just bulldozing over them. He was switching on screens that really weren't even set. There was no need for him to switch. He was just, I was like, bro, why is Patty Mills on Luka right now? So yeah, that was a problem. But they don't have the length on the perimeter to actually defend. They're going to give a lot of minutes to Kyrie, Patty Mills, Joe Harris, and Seth Curry. That's a problem. Even though a lot of those players are skilled players, there's a lot of redundancy on the value that they provide to a team.
Still got a guard.
They don't have enough wing depth. Kevin Durant is really the only wing until TJ Warren gets back, and TJ Warren hasn't played in basically 2 years, so I don't know what he's going to look like. And then I agree still, the size just isn't there. Claxton and Simmons, even when Simmons is 100% healthy, he's just not good enough to really impact every aspect. He got to switch, he got to rebound, he got to rim protect, he got to rebound. Like he got to do way too much on this team, and I don't even believe it's fair. So they need more size and more length inside and out, in my opinion, for them to be better. And that's the problem.
How come you didn't notice? How come you didn't mention their GOAT on the Nets, dude? Yatu Watanabe. Come on, bro.
My impact his impact was him being able to punish the rim, like attack the rim, and that's
who's that?
Ben Simmons. You know, like in Philly before he got hurt, he was attacking the rim and creating.
I don't know if he was doing that.
No, he was
going downhill. No question about that. The problem that we having with him, not only that, Lo. The problem that we having with Ben Simmons is that not only it's not that he can't move. The free throw line is radioactive. He does not want to go to the stripe.
It's always been there. It's always
the free throw line is radioactive to Ben Simmons. He does not want to go to the stripe. Of all the things he doesn't want to do, he does not want to go to the stripe. So that hampers his game and him going downhill. That hampers it because he doesn't want to go to the stripe.
So right now he looks like a poor man, Rajon Rondo. Like that's what he looks like at this moment. He look 6'10", he looks 6'2" when he goes to the basket. That air ball layup he had back in the day on that pass, he would have dunked it. So he's still getting his feel back. And I never loved Ben or gave Ben great allure, but the fact of the matter is he's not his best self as of yet. And if he can become what he was in Philly, I think Brooklyn is a very dangerous team.
So if that's true, Del, should we give Ben a season to get healthy? And let's just say for the sake of argument,
I'm not because I still got him in the chip.
He can't do it. He can't do it. He can't afford to be wrong again. Now, come on.
You got Brooklyn in the NBA championship.
He got Mr. Bag himself in that conference finals, man. I'm sorry, the NBA finals. I'm sorry.
The NBA finals. So
he got Mr. Bag. He got bag talk, man. He got bag talk going all the way. All right,
y'all. We're gonna get back into these super chats, but we're actually gonna get into the draft right now. I need you guys to give me an order from the guys up here. We got Low, Fluent, Dale, Chill, Marz, and Rufus. You guys give me an order and we'll jump straight into the draft.
We gotta give you an order?
No, the chat's gonna give me an order.
Oh. Chat about to hate on me.
Hey, we'll see.
Yeah, no, chat about to hate on me.
Trash. I thought it was trash.
But until we do that, my man Usage chimed in with a super chat. He said, off topic, but do the Warriors still win the finals in 2018 if KD never goes there?
Nope.
In 2018?
If they make the finals,
who knows?
I think they win.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Who knows? That's actually a really good. Who knows? But shout out to Houston. They were really 2018 Houston when they went 0 for
nobody knows.
Yeah. Based on the evidence that we've seen, if KD is not on that unit, is that unit before KD got on that unit? Is that unit an NBA Finals team? Yes, they are. Based on the evidence, they are an NBA Finals team. If KD is not on that unit, based on the evidence.
Wait, 20. Okay,
I still think Houston win without KD. But if we did beat Houston, I think we beat the Cavs in the finals. So
shout out to Houston. Houston was nice that year.
Me and Marz already had this argument that I don't think that Cleveland has that big of a problem with. I just think it's a better matchup.
No, but the problem is this though, like
than with the Warriors.
To get KD on that roster, they had to let other things go. So you're just saying they let all those guys go and then KD comes off? It's a different roster.
I mean, Harrison Barnes stayed there.
Like, do they make it?
Oh, no, we lose with Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, Harrison Barnes on that
KD,
thing, right?
like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's why I say it's impossible. Like, I agree with Elder, right? It's impossible to say because what they would have done things differently.
Yeah, for sure.
Would have done things differently.
Especially with the cap spiking.
So they were good enough to get to the finals because they got there the year before.
Yeah,
so do they tweak in a different way, or do they just again lose those players and lose KD? Well, that's not really fair. That's not a true.
Well, they get the money, they're gonna sign another player.
They're gonna sign another. Yeah, exactly.
And they had to sign somebody else with that money instead of KD.
Exactly.
No,
and that's my point. That's why it's impossible to really say it, right?
Can Dale go first on this draft so he can draft KD first? Like, because we already know.
We already know what it is. It's not.
Is it all-time or current?
We doing an all-time draft.
What does it matter? He gonna pick KD regardless. What does it matter?
Right at the top of the list.
You know what's crazy though? Like,
don't lie to me.
No, if Steph is there, sometimes I pick Steph first because I always draft these terms in terms of fit. You just new to the circle, so you
no. If it's the first overall pick, there's nothing to fit yet because he's your first player you picking.
It's always Steph or KD, always out of them two.
But you saying out of fit. It's the first pick. You ain't got nothing to fit yet.
Okay. What's
I'm thinking of the team in the future.
Go ahead, pick right now.
All right, hold on. Wait. I'm gonna give you guys the order, but before I give you the order,
none of y'all should pick KD. Basically,
of course not. I wouldn't. Not first. What?
Okay.
Here's the order right now on the screen. We got Elder going first, Dale second, Marz third, Fluent fourth, Chill fifth, and Low. You predicted it. You're going last.
It's Snake, right? It's Snake, right?
Yeah. We're going to start.
Okay, I was about to say.
Here's how we're going to do the draft.
Like a real draft.
The draft is done like this. since we have people from all different ages up here, so we're gonna do. You have to pick a player from the 70s, 80s, 90s,
Why
2000s,
would you do that?
2010s, and a current player.
Okay.
And
In that order?
No, not in that order.
Any order.
You can go either way you want to go.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm not mad at that.
So I have to take old players.
You have to, Marz.
Yes, Marz, you have to take an old player.
You have to.
Hey, all the homework and the research that Ticket suggests you'll be doing, I'm assuming you'll be all right, bro.
So but now what rules are we playing? Are we playing when there was no 3-point line or what? How's this working?
3-point line's been in the game forever. So yeah.
But it wasn't there in the 70s. What if I want to build around a 70s player?
It wasn't.
They had a 3-point line in the 70s.
You gotta pick an ABA player then.
ABA.
And with this being said, let's take a player like Jordan, for instance. You know, he played in the 80s and the 90s. You can only choose one Jordan, but you could choose the 80s Jordan or the 90s Jordan. It's up to you.
Oh, Jesus, Ron.
So everybody's
Ron, you making this way too complicated.
No, it's not.
Everybody knows
a million
Jordan
players
is
that
the
play
biggest
the
player.
Ron. Hold on, let me ask. So I could take 80s Jordan as my point guard and 90s Jordan as my shooting guard?
No.
He's
Once
going
you take
for
that
one Jordan.
Okay, one Jordan, and I have to pick which era. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it, Elder. It's on you first. Who do you want?
Michael Jordan, the GOAT.
And which Jordan do you want?
90s, with the one that won the chips. I want that Jordan.
Damn, Dill. What KD are you gonna pick?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, it does. You'll see.
Damn, you gonna pick 2010s?
Exactly.
Oh man. Wait, what happened to Curry? What's going on?
Don't worry about it. What's the name? Changed the rules. I didn't know we was drafting 70s and all.
I didn't know we were doing
these
that
are
either.
terrible rules.
It is, but
I'm very upset.
Not for
nobody
me.
knew, man.
No,
That's what I'm
me.
saying. You know, hey, we got people that know about the 70s and the 80s, so you know.
Not
Yeah,
for
so they
me.
could have picked them with their own decision. I don't like being forced into this.
Oh, so we don't have to do 60s. It starts
Okay.
at 70s.
No,
No, this
70s, 80s, 90s.
Oh, okay, this is not that bad then. This is really not that
can
bad.
use 60s though, right?
60s.
You can pick a guy from the 60s if you want to.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, well, no. You have to.
No, it's 70s.
Yeah,
70s.
Oh, okay.
I can't
So
get
if somebody wanted to pick Bill Walton, they couldn't pick. Bill Russell. They
I
couldn't
can't
pick
get
him.
Well,
If you want to, you can. Go ahead.
Oh,
Put him in the 70s, huh? You put him because when his last year was 69. What was his last year?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
69.
Yeah. All right. I don't want him. I just wonder. I'm just asking.
yeah. It's Marz next, right?
Nah, I saw you.
Fluent
Fluent.
next.
It's on tone.
Oh,
who
thing
so I just got
picked already?
cheated out of
the
Yeah,
chat
great.
says Marz is next.
Oh yeah, it is Marz. It is Marz.
Yeah, thanks for trying to cheat me.
I was ready for it.
I saw Fluent.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna think strategically.
Oh wow, he's about to ruin this for everybody.
No,
And hey,
'cause
it's not gonna matter, Marz. My
the
team is gonna be the best.
thinking is the 70s was trash. There was only one really.
Yeah,
good
he's about
player.
to ruin it.
So let me get.
I
Kareem,
disagree.
Yeah, he
Kareem where? In the 70s?
70s. Yeah.
He's
Woo!
Kareem 70s.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's tough.
He only won one chip in the 70s, didn't he?
He was in his peak though. He's by far the best player in the 70s.
Cleared everyone.
All right, it's on you, Fluent.
Give me Braun 10s. I'll take the
is
best
all
player. You guys crazy.
for-
I would have took him, but I'm forced to pick 70s. So
Ill.
90s Lajuan.
Oh my god, y'all left me with nobody. Golly.
You got 2 picks, Lo.
Okay. I'm gonna first go with Shaq 2000s because I get to go again, right?
Damn, Lo, we left you with nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
My
Nobody.
goodness. My God. What are you talking about?
Hey man, I had to go. Man, y'all got LeBron, KD. I'm sorry, not KD. I don't know why I threw him. Y'all got LeBron, Jordan, and Kareem. Come on, what we talking about? And for my second pick, I agree with Marz. You got to go with a 70s player because it's just not that many. So I'm gonna go Dr. J in the 70s.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I gotta go Dr. J.
and now they're empty. About to get Pete Maravich in this.
Hey, you guys are the two youngest cats up here, so I don't think everybody else should have a problem finding the players in the 70s.
Man,
Chill,
there's
it's
plenty
back
of
on
them,
you.
but you know.
Yeah, they were there. They were playing.
It's my turn.
Yes, sir.
I'll take 80s Magic.
Damn you. Damn you.
Eat it.
I thought I could have gone.
Damn you.
Eat it.
Damn you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he won't come into me then. But I had faith.
Yeah, Fluent definitely is not allowing Magic to go.
No, he took Magic from me.
I know that's what I'm saying, but Marz thought he gonna get Magic.
Oh, yeah,
that
hell.
wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't about to happen. No.
I almost picked Magic first. It's
wow.
to me.
Yep.
Damn. All right, give me Kobe 2000.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Oh, okay.
Hey, but I know who else I got. I know who I got. I know who I got.
Go ahead, Lo. It's on you.
Oh no, it's Marz.
Oh, yep.
Elhurst. Steph 20
Fire.
times.
Nice.
It just goes to 2010. Oh, it's current too. Okay.
Yeah, you do get a current player.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, I know. All right, cool.
Dale,
You might,
where you
you might as
going?
well put Kyrie Irving in there current. So
Yeah, might as well go and get Kyrie Dell.
Current Giannis.
Current who?
Giannis, he said.
The hell out of
That's
here.
tough.
That's that's not who you want, bro. Come on, why are you doing this?
Okay. let me GM and build, please. Thank you.
Oh my God. You know you want Mr. Bag, man.
No,
Hell
I'd never pick Kyrie in the draft ever.
So me, right?
Yeah, you get two.
Bird in the 80s, and give me Duncan in 2000s. Yeah.
Those are good pickups.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my team, boy.
It's back on you, Dale.
Let me get he might not come back around. Let me get 2000 Dirk.
Marz, you have Kareem
2000s
and Steph.
KG. 2000s KG.
Okay, bet. Fluent. You have Kobe and LeBron. That's tough too.
Damn. You guys fucked up my draft. Give me
Decisions.
you took Bird's gone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Bird is
Yeah, he's gone. Well, 80s Bird is gone.
No,
Well, he
no.
only played in the 80s. He didn't play in the 90s. Did he make the 90s?
Yeah, you
92.
can only choose one Bird though.
He was over in 92.
No, yeah, you
Wait,
can-
what?
You can have him.
What?
You
Wait,
can,
Ron,
you
what
can have
did you
that Bird. You can have 90s Bird.
say? Ron, what did you say?
no.
You can only choose one Bird.
Oh,
You can only choose one Bird.
You can go 90. No, you can. You can go 90s Bird.
Once
Can't
he's gone, he's gone, right?
Once he gone,
Once,
he's gone. That's
once
it.
the name is on
That's
every
it.
era they played in is gone.
That's it.
Oh, I didn't think that was. I didn't think that's what he said. I thought it was different.
Can you go back to the
All
list,
right.
Ron? Thank you.
Can you? Yeah. Thank you. You got.
You need to make that bigger. You see all of it,
Can't see.
but you can't see Kern or 2000. Yeah, Kern gonna be the tough one for me.
You know what? Give me my point guard. Give me current Luka.
Nice.
Guys, that ball.
I'm taking 90 Scottie Pippen.
Yo, who got that noise in the background? I got to mute.
All right.
Until it's
Wait,
until it's
don't you already got 90s player Fluent?
I can only get one player from the 90s.
No, he's chill. I'm Fluent.
I mean,
I
shit, I'm
can
sorry.
I can only get one player from the 90s. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. All right, I got you. Let's see here.
You got Magic and King.
I got Magic and Hakeem. Let's see. 2000s, 2010s. Two guard. Oh, I'll take I don't have anybody from the 2000s. I'll take 2000s Dwayne Wade.
It's tough. Low, you got back-to-back picks. You still got the 80s. You still got the 90s, the 10s, and current. Dr. J and Shaq.
On the current, I'm gonna go big, and I'm gonna take because both Giannis and Luka going. So current, I'm gonna go Jokic.
Nice.
Give me some playmaking, because I don't know if I'm gonna get a quality point guard at this point, because niggas took everybody already. And then when it comes to this is tough. Yeah, this is tough. Let me double check real quick. Cause yeah.
While we wait for you to pick, I'm gonna be reading super chats in between.
Go ahead,
if you got your pick, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Dub chimed in. He's here with us in spirit in his super chat form. He said defense is a lot of effort as well, and having the players to buy into your structure and scheme. The Nets wasn't bought in with Nash at all. Ticket is on.
We know that.
I'm gonna go 2010s Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, he took my Leonard.
I like my team. Because I think my guard is still gonna be available later on anyway. So I like that. I think my guard is still gonna be available.
2010s.
Yeah.
From 10s. Let's see. Here.
Chill, you have Magic, Kareem, and Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade, right? In the 2000s.
Yeah. Low after your last picks, you got
I'll take
Shaq, Kawhi, and Jokic.
I'll take 2010 James Harden.
I'm sorry for the laughing.
All right, Fluent, it's on you. Kobe, LeBron, and Luka.
All right, let me take one of my bigs. I'm gonna take give me 80s Moses Malone.
Damn good pick.
Thank you, sir.
Marz, you got Kareem, the GOAT, Kevin Garnett, and Steph.
80s Isaiah Thomas.
Nice.
Very good pick.
Yeah, you running small, Marz. What the hell?
I mean,
no, you ain't.
It's just
I'm talking about in the backcourt.
Super.
One of them's coming off the bench.
I didn't think about it like that.
Dale.
You up, Dale?
90s Jason Kidd.
Nice.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie. That was damn, that's tough. Oh man.
Elder, you got back-to-back picks. You still got the 70s, the 10s, and current.
That was a good pick, though.
All right.
That was a good pick.
70s. Let's go with Jerry West.
The logo.
I'm so grateful I got Kareem.
I'll take Jerry West.
I'm happy I knocked out that one, boy. I'm happy.
And I got to do 2010 or current, right?
Yep.
Let's see here. 10s. Who do I like in the 10s? Don't like in the 10s. CP3 not going yet, y'all?
Yeah, I thought about him. It's the size.
Yeah,
you can
give
get
me CP3. Give me CP3 because I got him in my top 5 point guards all the time. So
Yeah, the size
the
is
10 to
killing
10.
me, though.
Man, the 10s. I got to go that route. I got
There's
big
a point
guards,
guard you
so
can get.
Yeah, I know.
I got big guards, so that's my only small guy.
Yeah,
So I'm good
like
with
that.
him.
70s West is a little.
I like
70s West is a little what?
This is the last 4 years of his career. Not as good as the 60s West is all I'm saying. But he's a big guard. You good? You good?
What year did he? So what year did he win the chip? Won it 70? What year was it?
72.
72.
Yeah, I like when they
I'm mad
win.
that you took him. I'm mad that you took him. That's all.
I'm gonna say, bro. Sure.
I'm mad that you took Jerry West. I'm mad that Marz took
A lot of
Kareem.
folks
I'm
don't
mad
know that booger put up
that-
about 28 a game, man.
took
Jerry West
Magic.
was the man.
I wanted all Lakers. All right. Who's up?
I got an interesting current if it gets back to me on that.
Yeah.
If
Yo,
it
that
does.
was-
That was up.
70, Elvin Hayes.
Let's go pick.
Very good.
Boy, I'm so happy, boy. Boy, I'm happy, boy.
Lo, you something else with these 70s dudes, yo. You something else.
dude.
You are. You something else, man. I swear, yo.
I'm to the end, and I'm telling you, he's great. All right, am I next?
Yeah, he for real, yo.
All these players
For
are
real,
great,
B.
but you trying to
Oh,
get the
all of them, dude.
crap, though.
Who's up?
Marz, it's on you.
Shut up, chat.
It pisses you off. I told you it didn't matter what you did. I was gonna put the dream team together. I told y'all
Hold on,
that.
can I see it, Ron? Okay, thank you.
Okay, now using current. '90s Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Scotty's gone, no?
Got it gone, ain't
He tried it.
Chill couldn't
Oh,
get it.
Chill had to reverse it because he already had someone from the
He
90s.
is gone. Marz just took
Oh.
him. Now Marz took him. He gone.
Okay. I thought I had somebody pick Scotty. I didn't want him, but I thought somebody had picked him already.
Fluent, you got 70s and 90s.
Yeah, we going like the second best player of the 90s, bro. Well, maybe third best. Karl Malone, 90s.
Mailman.
Good pick. That was a good pick.
Yeah, I would never have
man.
a team with him on it. Oh yeah.
I'm taking
My team's gonna punish all of yours.
Whoa.
In a way that I don't want my
especially
team
you,
to be
Marz.
punished. Yeah,
Whoa,
clearly,
whoa.
Clearly. Yeah, no thanks.
Chill, it's on you.
I'm taking 70s Dave Cowens.
Wow, he actually made it through. Wow. The guard that I want actually made it through.
Chill took Callan, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Low, you got your last pick.
I'm gonna go.
The last two,
I
right?
know. I know my last two. Yeah, I'm gonna go for my '90s player. I'm gonna go. GP.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the
Good pick.
defense. Give me some scoring. I'm gonna go GP.
Yeah, I like GP right there.
Yeah, I
Good
like
pick.
GP. too.
Very good
Guard in
pick.
Utah,
Very
I thought
good
he was gonna
pick.
take, but it's fine.
No, there's not a certain guard in Utah I'm taking, boy. I ain't taking him.
Come on, do it, Low.
No.
Who's your
Still available in the
80s?
80s.
Oh, we got
Still
80s
available
left.
in the 80s.
Yeah, 80s. Damn. Am I gonna have to go with?
Take Chuck, bro.
It's either Chuck or Mikal. Damn. This is tough.
Is it as tough as passing on Stockton?
Stockton played tough
No,
here,
it ain't.
man.
It ain't.
Stockton played in a
Leader in
It
the-
ain't- it ain't-
I thought the
it ain't
90s
tough
wasn't
at all.
no good. He played in a tough era, bro.
If I listen to this dude,
wasn't
give
that
me a
tough for
break.
me.
It wasn't that tough at all for
Give me a
me.
break, man. And me and this
wasn't that
dude,
tough
me
at
and this
all
dude,
for
we
me.
go at it all the time about
Not
this.
not for me. It wasn't.
Man.
I am gonna go. I'm gonna go Mikal because of defensive purposes. Give me a little bit more defensively than Barkley does. I got enough offense on the team already.
Fair.
Good pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mikal.
My current player, I'm taking Jason Tatum.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Eat it, Marz. Eat it. Eat it.
Wait, can I
Marz.
see the list? Can I see the list? Oh,
Yeah, I
jeez,
got
man.
you. I got you. I got you.
I gotta see what's going
I
on.
feel, I feel like Larry Bird asking you guys who's going to come in second. It's my pick, right?
Yeah.
Hold on.
And it's 70s.
Mhm.
You got a 70s player.
I guess
right?
I'm just going to pick a 7-time All-Star, 6-time defensive player, all defensive team, 26-6. Walt Frazier. Yeah, that's a pretty good point guard coming up.
Good pick. Very good.
Yeah,
pick.
That was somebody I was kind of surprised.
Very good pick. I thought about it.
Leave it to low. He was garbage too. He was
No,
whack,
I
too.
literally just
was
said
whack.
that's another player that I was like,
break.
okay.
He was whack.
I love my team. I don't care.
Very
I
good
love
pick.
my team.
Oh, it's on me. Current.
Only thing I dislike is you got guys got to have a ball in their hand. A lot of them.
Boy,
That's
boy,
okay. That's okay. They got a good coach,
Boy,
Yeah.
I don't know.
and three of them played for the Lakers. We good.
Who's the coach?
I
Man.
get you. Who? Oh, you talking about? Well, really more than three,
Hey,
but
man.
I get it.
Hey, man.
No, yeah, you're right.
No, who else played?
No, you're right. You're right. My bad. I was off.
Jesus gonna have to be the coach, coaching that team to get the ball at their hands, boy.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they good.
Once they get it, you can forget getting it back.
I know that's right, boy.
Everybody else's team's gonna be in the medical office once we. Whew, gonna kill you guys.
Come on, Marz. It's on you. What you thinking?
I'm thinking of wings, but all the good wings are gone, and I don't want Paul George. So
Oh man,
I don't want Paul George.
Yo, dude. If it's only one game, you can take his teammate.
he can't take
Oh,
Kawhi
Kawhi
because I got
gone.
Kawhi.
Kawhi's
I got
gone.
20 teams
Gone
gone.
already.
I would have took one game of Kawhi.
You definitely ain't taking current Kawhi. Please. He ain't even on the court.
Excuse me.
Damn, you stuck, Marz. You gotta take a minute. You gotta take Jimmy Butler.
That's him and Paul George are the only names that come to my mind.
Jimmy Butler's good.
No, he good,
He
but
is.
I'm just saying, like,
Not on no all-time team, though.
Yeah, not on the
I
all
can't
time.
have,
He ain't
I can't have
all-time
Steph
team
as my
good.
only space, and I can't have Steph as my only space.
Man, Marz, there's a lot of players out there.
You can space-
I got at least
forward
5 in mind
mid-range.
right now.
You can space
Well, I
the
know my
mid-range.
guy.
No, you
I know the
don't,
guy
Ron.
I'm taking is going to be there.
I know who you
Who-
think too, Elder.
Who? Wait, I'm not gonna make
Not
a pick
as
for
a
him, but
wing?
after he says it, yeah. After he says it, I'm gonna give you 4
No,
or 5.
don't say nothing because
Yeah,
Elder
I'm not
has
gonna
a
say
turn too.
nothing. I'm
Yeah,
not-
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, nobody, they can't pick my guy, so I already know my guy going to be there. Because all
Oh.
I got is current, and the guys is in the front.
Oh yeah,
of the
fair
jail.
enough.
Yeah,
Marz,
my
it's
guy's
somebody
gonna be
that's
there.
just glaring right there.
Yeah,
He's-
that's why I'm
he's-
surprised.
Like he's right there. I don't understand what you're thinking of.
I mean, I'm not taking a big, so the big
I'm
is
not-
who I'm
He got
thinking of.
Kareem
I'm
is
not
what his
taking.
problem is.
You talking about a wing, right, Ron?
Yes, it's like right there.
Current wing.
It's ridiculous that he hasn't said it yet, Ron, and I'm getting frustrated.
Hey man, you might
No,
as
I
well
don't know
do
who you
it.
guys are talking about, so I'm gonna take Devin Booker.
No,
He was one of the two for me.
Marz, you
the
lost.
other was-
Devin Booker.
Marz, you lost.
Okay.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
Wait, what's the other one? Dale?
I was
Is
gonna
he
say-
even a top 5?
I don't know if he's getting picked, but I would have said
Yo,
his
don't do
teammate,
this right now.
Oh, okay.
Chris Paul?
Okay, I just,
Klay Thompson.
no, Chris Paul taken. I got.
Oh,
What am I
oh,
taking-
oh, Klay
what am I
Thompson.
taking current Klay Thompson
You're not
for?
taking
Just
Klay,
to
current
chill and
Klay
miss.
Thompson. Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, no, thank you.
Nice.
better with
Wait, Ron,
Andre
who
Wiggins.
are the wings?
Right now,
Yeah,
The one you were thinking of, he's saying, because they can't do it now. They can't draft it. Who's the guy you were thinking of? He said.
I mean, you still got a current pick, so I don't want to.
That's
I don't want.
Oh, mine ain't a wing though. Mine ain't a wing. I can tell you that. So if it's a wing, you can say it. I got wings. I'm
Yeah, you
good.
got Jordan
I know.
Manwell.
I'm not
who
picking a
Elder-
wing.
Why,
I'm
why
gonna tell you
are
right
people
now. I'm
asking
not
for
picking a
Steph
wing.
in the chat when I have Steph for 20 times?
It's on
All right.
me. Give me
Yeah, Dale.
19. Give me 80s Reggie Miller.
80s?
Yes.
80s Reggie Miller?
Damn,
Yes.
you lost
Yes.
too. That's tough.
Yes.
No, Reggie was 90s, wasn't he?
No, he was
No,
drafted.
He just said
he
he
peaked
wants
in
he
the
wants
night. He
80s
peaked in the
He was
versions.
drafted on this team. I don't need Reggie Miller to think he has to score. Just space the floor out for Jason Kidd to run and be.
And Reggie Miller was nice in the 80s. He showed up in 87 and he was good in the 80s.
87.
He wasn't,
Yeah,
he wasn't
yeah, of
garbage.
course.
This
Of
team-
course.
I don't
Oh,
like
absolutely.
stars.
He averaged 10 and 16.
Yeah,
I guess-
he was a good.
I'm
he
not
was a good
taking
guy,
this
but-
dude.
89, 90.
Hey,
Devin Booker's a
I'm
bad
not
pick,
taking this
Reggie.
Oh
guy.
yes.
Hey, I'm not taking this guy. I'm just asking, would he be considered a current player? Now, I'm going to say it again. I'm not taking this guy. Even if you tell me he's current, I'm not taking him. I just wonder. What about Victor, that Wembanyama guy? Will he be considered current, or we gotta be in the league?
30.
He ain't
You gotta be in the league. You gotta be in the
He
league.
ain't in the league yet. No, he ain't in the
I'm
league.
not taking. I wouldn't have took him anyway, but I'm gonna go with Joel Embiid for my current player.
I thought you were going Nikolai Jokic.
Oh, so who? I got Jokic.
No, Jokic already picked. Jokic already picked.
I didn't even see that.
Yo, Ron, who were the endless amount of wings you was talking about?
I mean, so obviously, Paul George is in there, but I'm saying you got a whole league of current guards and wings. So
I didn't need guards.
You said five.
You said wings.
Zach
LaVine, exactly. Jimmy Butler.
The only guys who I'm saying were better than Jimmy
Could have took Zion as a
Devin
week.
Booker is Jimmy
Could have took Zion.
Why are you making your face like that? This dude just scored 20,000 points. What are you talking about?
DeMar DeRozan in this conversation?
He just scored 20,000 points. Why are you talking about that?
I wasn't taking DeMar DeRozan.
Not in this conversation.
I'd have took Zion with current. I would have went with Zion if I was him.
Yeah,
I was taking Paul George or Devin Booker. That's who I was going to take, and I went with Devin Booker.
Devin was on that list.
I'm cool. I'm good with Devin Booker. Absolutely.
All right, Elder. It's me and you in the finals. Sounds like
easily.
Let me see the
Should be.
I'm reading the chat correctly.
Chat, drop down who won. Give me your top 4 people so I can put up a poll.
No, I like Elder's team. I think he's.
I'm way too big for you.
I think he's way too big.
Way too big for you, bro.
I think he's way too big.
Jerry West,
Pause. I'm sorry. Pause.
Hold on. You have CP3 and Embiid, right?
You focus, right away. Focus low. Focus, man.
I'm sorry.
Focus. I like that 5 too with Elder.
I like Elder's team.
Jordan and Jerry West in the backcourt. Yes, sir.
Bro, you can forget it, bro. That's
I
like auto bucket.
I like
Duncan and Embiid and Bird.
Incredible shooting, auto buckets, great defenders. I got it all.
Yeah, and CP3
got great defenders. Yeah, your team got great defenders. They can shoot, athletic, run, length.
I don't know. My squad.
I can do it all on that team.
My squad, we're gonna be a problem. I got Magic at the 1. I got Wade at the 2.
Part of Moses Malone. I don't think Embiid was
at the 4.
Any part of Moses Malone.
I don't think he want nothing to do with him, Tone. Nothing.
Embiid will.
He want nothing. He doesn't want nothing to do with him.
You got a lot of weaknesses on that team, bro.
I have no weaknesses.
All I'm doing is pick and roll to Harden, and it's over for you. He can't.
Well, first of all, Harden is coming off the. Harden is the rotation guy. He ain't starting on this group.
I got you. Then I'm pick and rolling Magic. I'm going directly at his butt, and that's my dude. I'm going directly at him, though.
Yeah, chill. You don't have enough space.
I'm going directly
at him, see, that's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the problem that we have.
I don't think he got enough shooting either.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Actually, we do. But the problem that we have is that you guys want to shoot the long ball. No, we're going to play to our strengths. What we're going to do is we're going to speed the game up. We're going to play defense. We're going to rebound. We're going to limit you to one shot, and that's how we're going to win.
Sounds like his pregame.
Let me see.
It sure does.
Let me see.
That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. We speeding up the game.
So who you starting with? What's your starters?
Magic at the 1, Wade at the 2, Tatum at the 3, Cowens at the 4, Lajuan at the 5. We're gonna play defense. We speeding the game up. We're gonna live. We're gonna play.
Said I have no wing defense. What's wrong with you? What team is you looking at? Tell me I don't have no wing defense.
No, you got wing defense. Chill. It's just
Jerry West and Jordan are both all league defenders. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And Bird, what are you talking about?
Chill.
You're right, Ali. You're right, Ali. Fluent's the best.
All them dudes are great defenders on my
team. They got a real good squad.
No, I like Elder's team the best, actually, out of everybody.
That team for the keys business right there.
Typical low.
And I'm bringing CP3 off the bench.
I didn't even say my team.
He's coming off the bench.
Low beef is, but we need to hash it out. Maybe
he's coming off the bench.
I don't know what's wrong with low.
I have the
Chat, I just threw a poll up there. You guys go choose between the top 4. It's Elder, Dale, Fluent, and Marz.
How is Dale? What?
Look in the chat. They saying Dale.
No, my team is OD.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Dale's
no,
team.
It's not.
I like Dale's team the most.
They picked Dale. You like Dale's team the most?
No, look at it. Look at the.
I'm looking at it.
Look at the.
I don't know if you look at the dynamic. Jason Kidd at the 1.
Reggie Miller at the 2. KD at Reggie Miller's at the 2.
Oh my God! No.
Dirk at the 4.
80s. Hold on. Not a 90s. Not a 90s.
80s.
80s Reggie Miller.
But
Yeah,
I don't
he
need a
wasn't all
90s
that
Reggie
in the
Miller
80s.
though.
No, you
He
don't.
was
Because
not
I
all
don't-
that in the 80s.
I don't need a 90s Reggie
You don't
Miller.
need him.
The 80s Reggie Miller amongst every other two guard that everybody else has is the weakest player on the
It's not. It's not about. It's not about the best player. It's
It's
the
not one
fit.
on one, low.
Definitely
This is
coming
what
off
I
the
tell
fit.
me all the time. It's not
But,
one
but
on one.
even
It's
but
the fit.
even what I'm saying is he doesn't even provide as much as everybody else. Everybody
All
else
I
can
need him to do is stand in the corner and shoot a three.
Oh my gosh! If
Or
that's
live in the
all
mid
you-
range. Or live in the
Bill
mid range.
Ellis, if you want to
Hey, he
talk to
definitely
that.
ain't gonna play no defense. But
He definitely not playing no defense.
80s Reggie, he definitely ain't playing no
I like
defense.
fit Brook Lopez for blocking shots. I'll take Reggie Miller.
But it's not all time players in matching up against
It,
Dell.
it doesn't matter. It's a team fit. Y'all like
Nah, that I ain't gonna lie. Dell has the weakest
I got
team
the,
actually.
my team's the best, but they're gonna vote for Elder because of the popularity contest.
No, Elder does. I mean, Elder
Honestly,
does have that.
I'm
I
taking
ain't the
Reggie
most
Miller
popular guy over
over
here.
More than me.
Pounds.
Fluent. Let's see. Fluent.
So
Fluent, I'm
Tom,
telling you,
I really like my team.
I think you got too much redundancy, Fluent.
well, that's what I'm trying to figure out too,
You got
Elder.
too many guys
Who handling the
ball in
ball?
their hands.
Dave
Right. So
Cowens
that's
is
exactly what I was
You
thinking,
got too
Elder.
many.
So
Hey, you got too many chuckers, bro.
right. So
Yeah.
Elder,
Chuckers
that's
on
exactly
your
what I was
team,
thinking with Tone. So Tone. So
Yeah,
who's
you
the
got
primary ball handler on
multiple
your crew? Who's the primary ball handler on your crew?
Oh, we can flip between LeBron and Luka.
Okay,
Who is it,
so
though?
Which one of them gonna get the ball to
But
Kobe?
who is it? Who's gonna be? Who is it?
They're gonna take turns.
LeBron, maybe.
They're gonna take turns. They're gonna take turns.
Okay.
That's why we
You gotta-
unconventional. You can't keep up. You don't know where it's coming
Low
from.
efficiency chuckers on your team.
Wait, what's
And-
wrong?
and
Wait, what's wrong? What's wrong with
We're
my
gonna get like
team?
20
What's wrong with my
offensive
team?
rebounds a game.
What's wrong with
Like,
my team?
it's over, bro.
What's wrong with my team?
I don't think anybody's gonna get a ball to Carl. I really
I
don't.
think y'all
Now,
forget.
now the best pick. I'm gonna tell you now. The best player. Hey, Fluent. The best player on your team, in my opinion, is Moses because he's gonna clean up all their rebounds. He's gonna get all the because they're gonna miss the shot. Luka, Kobe, they're gonna miss the shot.
Oh my god!
And they're gonna clean up all.
Anything that Kobe
They all gonna
LeBron,
miss a
and Luka
bunch of
missed,
shots.
that's right.
Carmelo
And they're gonna have to
on
go
the
clean them
backboard
up,
too.
bro.
Not alone, brothers.
They're gonna have to go
He's
clean
gonna
them
get on the
up.
backboard too. Yeah.
Hey, I'm kind of disappointed in chat that nobody's saying that my team is good. What's up with y'all?
Yo, you got
that's
a horrible
bad
team,
Let me
bro.
see your team,
Sorry,
though.
bro.
I have a horrible team.
You don't have no shooting. You don't really have no good shooting.
Kawhi
You really don't.
Kawhi
No,
and Gary
no.
and Gary Payton are
That,
not good
he's
shooters.
definitely going to be
Yeah.
your sixth man because he's going to be hurt. So he's going to miss a lot of time.
Your best
I was
shooter.
gonna say, we talking about players get hurt.
Hey,
You got Joel
Jokic
Embiid on your
is
roster.
your best shooter,
You got
bro.
Joel
Jokic
Embiid and
is your
Chris
best
Paul.
shooter.
Mars,
You
your
got
team
Embiid
is
and
really,
Chris
bro.
your
Paul
best
on your
shooter.
Your
roster.
team, Mars, your teammates isn't that bad. I don't know why people sleeping on your team. Your team's
I
actually.
think my team's very good. I mean,
Yeah,
No,
your
he
team's
got
really
Marz has got some defensive liabilities.
Yeah,
out there.
Mars on
He
the
got some
perimeter.
serious
It's just
defensive
Pippen.
liabilities.
He also has some defensive, like
He got some defensive juggernauts too.
Cade,
Yeah,
you
he
know
do.
what I mean?
I'm
Here's
very
the-
comfortable with
Here's the
Pippen,
here's the
KG,
thing that
and
you're
Curry.
missing too, Elder. You
Yeah.
talk about his defensive liabilities. Isaiah Thomas gonna make Booker defend. He gonna make Booker defend. He gonna make Steph defend. So he did.
I think he better
I
beat
wasn't-
Booker
I
up.
wasn't
Hey, I
coming
think
from a
he
leadership
this
angle.
new
I was
age,
like,
he been that beat Booker up.
Kobe gonna make
He been that
everybody
beat
work on
Booker
my
up.
team.
He would have been
I
that
just
made
think-
beat
I
Booker
just
up.
think Pippen, KG, and Kareem can play enough defense to.
Bro, I
make up
genuinely
for-
believe my
I
team
don't
is
think
better
Bird
than
and
everybody else.
Jordan will get along.
I think my team.
Bird and Jordan.
I don't think they would get
Oh,
along.
they would.
Yo, to the
Oh, they're
person
so
to the person
competitive.
who
They're
said,
so
"Am I going to
competitive,
put
they
Jokic the small forward?" It's the six. There's 6 players. Somebody's coming off the bench. That's mad dumb. That don't make no sense. At all.
Jokic can play small forward easily.
I know, but
He
I got Doc and Kawhi. Those are my 2 wings. I got Payton at
Man,
the
Kawhi
one.
coming off the bench. Then put Kawhi on the bench.
No,
I'm starting
what?
Doc. And,
Whoa.
yeah,
I got
Kawhi over Doc. You know who Doc is, bro?
No, I
Kawhi
said I'm
ain't even
starting
close
both
to
of
Doc.
them. I'm starting both of them.
Who you got coming off the bench, Lo, for your team?
If it would depending on the matchup, it would either be Jokic or Kevin McHale.
No way.
Dell.
Jokic is the one that's going to control. He's your ball. He's the guy that dictates the floor of your team.
Bird and Jordan.
That's what he gonna do.
In the chat, Bird and Jordan got along on the
That's what
dream
he
team.
gonna
Bird had a broken back. He barely played. Get out of here. I'm surprised, Dell, you didn't take Dominique Wilkins over Reggie. That's what I would have thought you would have done.
Bird won 3 championships in the 90s, right? Three. Hold on. You talking broken back? He won 3 MVP in the 80s. He won 3 MVPs, 3 championships in the 80s.
No,
He's
he
talking about broken back. That was 90s.
He was talking about the 90s. He was talking about the dream team.
Oh,
That was the 90s.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, that was 90s, bro. Bird was the man in the 80s.
Oh yeah, I'm with you in the 80s. He was talking about the dream team.
3 back-to-back MVPs. back to back to back.
I ain't gonna lie, Marz, you lost me on the current pick. That's where you kind of lost me. I'm be honest.
So who are you taking there, Lo? Because you made
it was either him or
I would have
difference.
with PG just for more defense on the perimeter. Because I mean, you running IT, Steph, and Booker against these teams. That's
destroying them dudes.
Yeah,
bro.
they destroying them. Every team has players that are just destroying all three of them.
They're destroying Paul George as well.
I like mine because my guys.
I mean, you get
way
better.
All of them play D, man.
I mean, I'm putting Pippen point of attack anyway.
And who's the wings?
Whoever's handling the ball the most, Scottie Pippen's going on them. It doesn't.
No, I'm saying, but who's defending the wings at that point?
You deal with that. Like, what?
Oh man, you definitely.
I'm not saying my team's perimeter defense is going to be.
You definitely dealing with it, boy.
Kareem at the basket. I'm fine.
You definitely dealing with it.
Yep.
Boy.
I'll go. I don't care. I won.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. The chat on the poll voted 53% voted for Elder, so it's looking like he packed y'all up. Fluent, you came in not a close second, but you came in second with 23%. Marz, you came in last, buddy, and Bill, you're third. All right, y'all, we're gonna keep it pushing. It was a lot.
Chicken dinner.
A lot happened this last week. Before I get into that, make sure you guys like the video. So I need to hear you guys' thoughts on this last week, but before we get into that, I want to bring up the scoring right now and who right now is leading the league in scoring. I remember last week we talked about all the players that were averaging like 30. It was like 10 people that were averaging 30 at the moment.
Jesus.
So right now we have Luka at number 1 with 36 points per game, Giannis at number 2 with 34 points, Ja with 32. Or Giannis with 34, Ja with 32, Donovan with 32, and KD with 32. But I want to specifically get into Luka right quick. How do we feel about Luka and him averaging 36? Is it quite possibly a chance that you can argue that Luka may just be the best player in the NBA right now?
Which is why my team would have won.
It's been an argument for Luka for the everybody got him top 5, top 3. It's been an argument based on what he's been doing that some people really have him. All it takes is like a good amount of people to think they're the top one. Then the argument, you could have an argument for whoever you want. Luka is him though. He is different. I don't think it should be a question of like Luka. If someone to me think, I think Luka is like top 2, top 1, I'd be like, okay, cool. I don't agree with you, but because Luka is not no slouch. I think Luka, the way he controlled that whole dynamic in Dallas is beautiful. It's beautiful. And I don't know why LeBron James superior fans don't give Luka as much praises as they should, just based on everything Bron did when he was in Cleveland and how he catapulted them. I think Luka should get all their praises, because he's following that blueprint.
The fact that you're only bringing up his scoring at 36.7, he's also averaging like 10 rebounds and 9 assists.
9 assists, yeah.
Right, like it's not like he's only scoring; he's doing everything for that team. So, yeah, he's in the conversation. He's in the conversation.
Yeah,
I still think it's Giannis, but I think he's in the conversation.
The reason why is just because Giannis is still doing Giannis things. That's kind of the problem. But yeah, he's definitely in the conversation at bare minimum. And yeah, you're right. Like he's kind of doing everything for the team, and the team is kind of structured in a way for him to kind of do everything. Going back a few weeks ago when we were playing the game of like, can he keep it up? I still don't think he can keep up this level of production. This is like just crazy low production.
Not 36. I don't think 36. Yeah, but I think his rebounds could go down to like 9 and 9 or like 8 and 9. I think that could stay around there.
Yeah, he could be a 34, 9 and 9 guy.
That is insane.
I just feel like the problem is not really if he's putting up great numbers, it's just that, and he's not like one of the best players. It's just that there's somebody, in my opinion, I think a lot of other people's opinion, whatever you think that Giannis is lacking in terms of playmaking, which I think Luka's a better playmaker, but the defense that he's anchoring right now is like all-time high defense against small sample size.
There's the separator right there. Yeah, that's it right there. So when we talk about Giannis at 34 and 13, like 34, 13 and 5, like you just mentioned, 34, 9 and 9. But when you talk about Giannis, who cleans glass, not only does he clean glass, his ability to defend multiple positions and not just defend multiple positions. We get wrapped up in a dude being a playmaker with the basketball. Giannis makes plays on defense. Giannis makes plays on offense. He's one of the better playmakers in the game. I don't just limit playmaking to passing the basketball. There's a number of different aspects that go into playmaking, and Giannis is huge in that aspect. So when I think about Giannis as an overall player, don't get me wrong. Are we talking about Luka as the best player in the game? Absolutely we are, but I still think it's Giannis.
Agree.
I put him top 5. I put Luka top 5. Giannis is the best though to me. He on top of the world. He getting it done, offense and defense. So
shout out to Luka though. Shout out to Luka though.
Yeah, Luka top 5 to me.
Marz, how do you feel about Luka and his argument for possibly being the best player in the world?
I mean, I get people can make an argument. I disagree with the argument, but he's, I guess, in the conversation. I wouldn't put him in the conversation, but that's because I wouldn't agree with any argument you made for Luka being the best. But I just wanted to ask, because most people here said that the difference between Luka and Giannis is what Giannis brings defensively, and that's why he's the best. So I just wanted to ask, do you guys have Luka as the best offensive player in the game?
I do, yeah. I would say so.
No,
I don't really.
No, he's not. He's not the best. KD better offensively than
no. Whoa. Go back to what Marz just said. Marz, I think you may have a point there.
Part of it.
Now KD is the best scorer. There's a difference between scoring and being an offensive player.
And I got it. You saw the playmaking and all of that stuff.
I think Luka is a better offensive player than KD. He might. You can make the argument that Luka is the best offensive player in the game. Is he better than? Is he better than James? Is he better than James overall?
Yes.
Today, I think so. Yes. I don't know if I could say that 2 years ago, but today I can say that Luka is a better overall offensive player than James today. And yeah, Marz, I can get with that. I think he's the best offensive player in the game. And I think Giannis is close. I think Giannis is a close second. I don't think Giannis,
right there.
I don't think Giannis is that far away from Luka in terms of. And the reason why, when you talk about Giannis as a not even efficiency, as a scorer, so you talk about Luka's ability to stretch the defense. He doesn't shoot the long ball. Giannis doesn't shoot the long ball like him. They both go downhill very similar. Giannis and both Luka can finish at the basket with the best of them. Now, when you talk about Giannis going to the stripe, when you talk about Luka going to the stripe, that's a little bit different. But when you talk about stretching the defense and passing the basketball, right, and scoring in a number of different ways, not just scoring in a number of different ways, in transition, being able to play make. I think Luka gets the edge. Not by much, but I think Luka gets the edge.
Nah, Luka is a noticeably better playmaker than Giannis offensively.
No, when you say noticeably, what do you mean, Lo? Because when I hear stuff like that, like it's not even a question, and that's not true. That's not.
No, it's
because
true.
a lot of those guys' offense with the Milwaukee Bucks is predicated on Giannis making plays for them.
I'm not saying he's not a great one. I just think that I think.
So where's the divide? So where's the separator between him and Giannis in terms of playmaking? Where is the separator?
In the half court.
Okay, I get that part.
I think in half court sets, Luka can just generate more open looks for everybody else on his team. And I think that just has a lot to do with like the limitations that Giannis has scoring wise. I'll say this though, I do want to see like a team just let Luka shoot threes though. Because like we get to a point in his career where it's like, I mean, he's peaking at 35% from three. Like,
right.
And I don't think what he's doing right now is who he is because he's had better seasons.
Yeah, I think he's at shooting 22% right now.
Yeah, he's shooting horrible from three right now.
But even
that's better than him offensively.
Is Steph better than who?
No, I don't think so.
Luka.
No, I don't think so.
But see, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I wouldn't even say Giannis is next. I think Steph and once Jokic gets back to the volume scorer that he normally is, I would say Jokic is also a better offensive player than Giannis. I think there's like a good handful.
About Trae Young.
Lo, that was my next question. You can Trae Young is definitely involved in that. No question about that. And that was Trae Young is definitely involved in that. So that was my next question to you, Lo, because when I think about Giannis in the half court, Giannis demands just as much attention as Luka does offensively. Absolutely, he does. Now,
in the half court?
In the half court, absolutely, he does. That mid-range has to be respected. That mid-range is respected. Not only is that mid-range
better be put up.
That wall, even if you put that wall up, he's become so dominant in getting to the basket and figuring out ways to get to the basket. That's because that mid-range has now become respected the way it has, which now demands so much more attention defensively from him. So I think he demands just as much attention defensively as Luka does. Now, don't get me wrong, Luka does stretch the defense, But in terms of overall defensively, I think Giannis demands just as much attention as Luka does.
Is just this year. Just this year.
Yeah, just so far this
Is
year.
Ja working his way into that conversation?
That's the other play I was gonna say, because Ja is like playing out of his mind right now as well.
Now let me ask you guys this question. So Ja, who I'm trying to think of a guy.
You know, he's my second favorite player. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. And you guys are going to kill me for this. Ja, in terms of being dynamic, he got a Jordan thing going on. Y'all dudes talk about Derrick Rose. You dudes talk about all these high flying. You talk about all these high flying guys. I mean, Ja got a Jordan thing going on in terms of being dynamic. But when I think about his ability outside of scoring, I mean, can I talk about him when I talk about Giannis? Can I talk about him when I talk about Luka? Can I talk about him?
Just offensively.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Overall offense. Can I talk about him like I talk about Trae Young? I ain't talking about not just scoring. I'm talking about all the other stuff. Can I talk about him like I talk about Trae Young? His ability to distribute, his ability to stretch the defense, right? His ability to make plays for others.
He's not as good as a playmaker as like Trae Young and Luka, but with him, way he's shooting so far this season.
Again, we're only talking about now.
Right now.
In the conversation this year. Don't look at last year. This year.
Just today.
So far this year, he's shooting 50% from three. Like I don't 56. Yeah, like he is like
that's nuts to
say that.
That's
crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, if we talking about exclusively this year. No, I mean, and again, I like Giannis. I love Giannis, but I think offensively, I think there's like, especially if everybody's like getting things going, outside of like Jokic not being the volume scorer that he normally is, everybody else is like doing things that not only do they normally do, but might be sustainable to a slight degree. Luka and Ja Morant scoring as much as they're doing right now, I don't think it's going to happen. But I just think that like, Giannis, I don't think he's the top 5 offensive player in the league.
That's nuts to me that he's not. I said that 5.
Wow.
He's not.
But that's I don't even think that's a knock on Giannis. I just think there's other players who are just really great on
when I think about offensive players, I think about your ability to command the defense. That's what I think about. I don't just think about your ability to score. I think about your ability to command the defense, how much attention they pay to you, and not only how much attention they pay to you, what you do to benefit from that. What do you do? How do you get your teammates involved? How do they benefit from that? And with Giannis, his ability to pass, to get guys like Jrue Holiday open shots, to get guys like Grayson Allen open shots. I'm thinking to myself, how many more guys? I can't name 5 guys in the league that demand more attention defensively than Giannis. And for him to make plays the way he does, to put those guys in a position to score like they do, I can't name 5 guys better. I can't.
I get what you're saying. I just think that the other players are just more dynamic. So even if their ability to warp defenses isn't to the degree of Giannis, they still can just generate in various other ways. So it's not.
So it looks better.
No, it's harder to scheme against. Like it's not like
are you putting versatility over production?
But they're all producing we're talking about right now in the first 6 games, everybody producing crazy. Almost every player we named, everybody's producing crazy.
We just got started.
So that's what I'm saying. Like if we just solely talk about these 6 games, everybody's producing crazy. So again, when everybody's producing at that level, then versatility at some point would have to definitely teeter in some ways. But
who are your 5 over Giannis better offensive players right now?
I would say Luka. Trey's had games where it's just he's been stinking it up. So I'm not gonna say Trae right now. Luka, Ja.
If you're struggling at 2, you might be wrong.
Low, this is kind of getting nasty.
The reason why I'm saying that low is because I think that
5. I'm talking about like in a totality, but
that's what we're talking about. We ain't just talking about scoring. We're talking about in this totality. And low, I think that you get wrapped up in the way it looks with Giannis. And I think that's where the problem is. Sure, you do. And the reason why you get wrapped up in that is because you just told us that those other guys are more dynamic, which means that it looks better. And because it looks better, that's why you're going with them guys. Meanwhile, you can't name 5 guys offensively who are better.
No, right now, if you want to say Giannis is 3rd, I guess. But I'm just talking about in a total sense because even when we brought up Trae, even when we brought up Trae, like the idea of who Trae is supposed to be
Yeah, but let's not tricked by who he's supposed to be.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying, but the player he is right now, he wouldn't be in that conversation just because he's shooting poorly right now.
Right.
But like the player that he normally is, I would in that capacity, I would say yeah. But right now, who he is right now, no. But no, I'm the opposite. I mock people. I was just mocking Dell for the whole bag talk. I'm mocking. I definitely don't get into bag talk.
Right. Yo, Marz, would you like to chime in with this? And also, I would like you guys to rank these 5 players as scorers. And this is the top 5 scorers in the league.
Just
right
scoring
now.
or offensively?
Just scoring.
Well,
no, offensively. We can let's do just score. Just score. We got Luka, Giannis, Ja, Donovan, because he is top 5 right now, and KD. Rank those 5 guys as scorers. Marz, I want to start with you. And do you want to chime in with anything else?
I mean, when I said Giannis wasn't a top 5 offensive player, I wasn't going off this season because it's such a small sample size. I'm just looking at them as overall players. I don't think Giannis is top 5. But also, he's been shooting poorly from the mid-range this year, but it will come back around because this one's against 7 games. I don't think defenses respect it per se. I think they know he can make it, but you still live with it because it's not great. It's about average. But those scorers, the best scorer out of those guys, KD, Luka, I forgot the names.
Mitchell,
Giannis, Mitchell, Giannis, and Ja.
KD, Luka, Giannis, Ja, Mitchell.
KD,
Luka, Giannis, Ja, Mitchell.
Okay.
Who you got, Chill?
I can go with KD. I can go with Luka. Giannis. Ja, Mitchell. Yeah, I can get with that. Sure. I can definitely get with that. Mitchell is more of a as much as I dig Mitchell, he's a volume shooter. And that could be to your detriment. I mean, I watched him the other night, he took 29 shots. Now, the guys that I see that score buckets, you know, the KD doesn't need 29 shots to get to what. If KD got 29 shots, if KD shot the ball 29 times, he got 60.
No, he doesn't. He's never got 60.
He got 50.
No, right.
Maybe 50.
He got 50.
He's at least got 50. If he shot the ball 29 times, that's who KD is. So when I think about a guy shooting that much, that's a lot of shots, man. And I've never really been a big fan of volume shooters because if you're shooting a lot, that means you're shooting a lot of bad shots.
Isn't Luka like that?
I don't think Luka is like that, and the reason why is because when Luka's problem is Luka gets himself in trouble.
Volume too.
Luka gets himself in trouble at the stripe. I think that Luka, when he gets to the stripe, I mean, I would expect Luka to be a better free throw shooter, but he isn't, and I don't understand why. I really. But the night Luka attempted 29 shots one night, and I think he scored right at 40. I think the game against Brooklyn, he attempted 29 shots. And he got 40, what do you have? 44? What do you have? 44 that night?
41. Like
41.
He barely got there. Yeah, barely over the 40 hump.
Right.
Against the Pelicans, he took 30 and had 37.
28 shots.
He just takes a lot of bad threes. That's what.
Yeah, the threes is what really kills.
He takes way too many.
Yeah, not nine threes a game for Luka at 22%. I know it's early, but that's too many. It is.
Even when he was shooting 35, he didn't justify the shots he was taking.
Yeah.
He takes way too many difficult ones for someone of his ability, and that's what brings down his efficiency.
Because he's not Curry.
He is not. No. Mm-mm.
To answer your question, Ron, I'm gonna go just off of pure scoring. I'm gonna give it to KD first. After that, based off of what I've seen so far, it's kind of hard not to give it to Ja. Then I'm gonna go Giannis, Luka, then Mitchell.
Got Luka 4th?
Yeah.
Okay. Fluent.
If he was a better free throw shooter, I would have him higher, but he's like
I never understood that, Lo. I always felt like, why isn't Luka a better free throw shooter?
Yeah,
as much as he gets to the stripe, why isn't he a better free throw? He should be at least a 75% free throw shooter, close to 80. And he's not.
Fluent, how do you have your list structured?
I've changed it 4 times, but I'll just say the one that's most current, and I'll probably change it by the time I finish. So I'm gonna go KD still, KD 1, Giannis 2, and I hate putting KD 1, but Giannis 2 just because he's so it's not the prettiest, but he gets it done. And then Luka,
I got Giannis at 3. Mm-hmm.
And then
My list is exactly like Fluent.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is exactly like Fluent.
Can you say that one more time? Can you say it?
My list is just like Fluent. KD, Giannis, Luka, Ja, and Mitchell. The chuckers I got to put towards the end is what I have to do. Those two other guys are just the KD and Giannis are very efficient at scoring the ball. The rest of them are chuckers, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, and I had to get a KD because he's doing the numbers that he's doing right now on a team that's I don't think is well coached or has been well coached.
Right.
Sharing the floor with two non-floor spaces and, in my opinion, negatives offensively in Claxton and Simmons, and he's still finding a way to give you 30.
Well, when you got a bad scheme, bad teammates, like in terms of fit, bad scheme, bad teammates, bad fit, and you're still like that versatile, and even though he's lower in terms of his 3-point shooting than usual, and you're still putting up 30 a game. Like,
and you also got to remember too, Lo, that KD's game has never changed. I'm buckets, so my game travels and doesn't make a difference where I am. If I'm in Oklahoma City, whether I'm in Golden State, whether I'm in Brooklyn, my game travels, and I don't do anything differently. When I'm there, I still shoot the long ball. I still live in the mid-range. I'm still great in transition. So no matter what kind of schemes you guys have offensively, when I get the ball, I'm a one-on-one guy. That's who I am, and that's who I've always been.
Facts.
All right, y'all. We're going to keep it pushing. Elder,
Yes,
your Lakers have been circulating in the news as always. They're always the talk around the NBA community. But we have a topic about the Lakers that is from a player that's not on the Lakers. Myles Turner, the Pacers center, he recently said what the Lakers should do. He said, if I'm the Lakers, I take a very hard look at this. With the position you are in, I know what I can provide for the team. My leadership, my shot blocking, my three-point ability, and just my ability to make plays out there on the floor. How do you feel about Myles Turner and a trade package centered around him coming to LA?
Elder, that sound like Elder, that sound like I want your chick. That's what that sound like to me.
Boy, please get your tail down, boy. Boy, please. What's wrong with you, boy?
Chick.
That booger trying to get over there. The first thing that he lost me when he said my leadership. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, the leadership is.
What are you the leader of? How to sit on the bench? How to be hurt all the dang time? I mean, I've never been really big, but I haven't been big on that trade, but I'm coming around to it because if the Lakers decide they want to be 100 on supporting Anthony Davis, you have to get a big that can bang defensively. Anthony Davis is not going to make it, let alone 20 games. You see what I'm saying? If you don't get some help at center to bang. If he can play power forward, you can get a great Anthony Davis. If he's got to play center, you can forget it. So that's the only reason I consider it. I don't know if the Lakers are all in on Anthony Davis, but Myles Turner was just trying to maneuver and get to the Lakers. He's ready to go to the Lakers. I think him and Buddy both. Think about it. Y'all played. Most of you played. If you're in that scenario where you know the team really don't want you, you want to get out of there. Let me get somewhere where I can get to a better team that wants to win and actually wants me on the team. Yeah. So it's rough being a player in that situation, but I like the fact he didn't hold back. He was like, look, you didn't think about this long. Bump them picks. I want to come now, So, but I don't think they're worth the 2 picks, though. If you're asking me that, I don't think those 2 role players are worth those 2 unprotected picks. I don't.
When the season, when we get to March or April, or the regular season is over, and Anthony Davis plays 60 games and he'll all-league defender tone, me and you gonna have a conversation.
They don't get him a center. He ain't gonna make it, bro.
What are we saying here? You want to stack day-to-day Davis with minute-to-minute Myles? Like, I don't.
That's what I was about to say. I don't get this.
No one's gonna play. Yeah, it's good in theory.
I agree, and again, that's why I said I wasn't big on it. What's your leadership skills? Your leadership skills is showing people how not to play and how to be hurt.
Hold on, leadership. Asking another team to trade for me.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know what leadership. You're on another team.
That's why I said he lost me. He lost me on the leadership thing. He lost me on that. But I still think the better trade. I still think the better trades for the Lakers are to go the route of getting a more balanced roster. They suck at wings. They suck at size on the wing. They suck at rebounding.
That's not what you said in that. What's what happened? That's not what you said. That's not what you said before the season.
Hold on. I want to hear what you said. What did he say?
What you said. That's not what you said in the beginning of the season, though.
Yeah,
I
Elder, we
did.
got
What
we
the-
got
what
you
else
on
did I not
wax.
say?
No, we got you
Yeah.
on record. We
No
got
problem.
you
What
on
did I say?
You do.
What
You
did I
said the
say?
Lakers have good
literally-
wing defenders.
Yes,
and
you
good
did.
wings.
That's literally what you said. You said good wing.
Y'all are so sad with this
No
JTA.
way!
Y'all are sad. You don't have me on wax. Y'all
Whoa,
misinterpreted.
yes,
I
we
saw that
do.
BS y'all put out. No, you
absolutely,
don't.
We
absolutely got
absolutely
you on
do.
wax, Elder.
We
don't.
absolutely
Yes,
I
you
was
do.
answering his question about JTA, and y'all went berserk on that.
No, I didn't. No,
Y'all
no. I
totally
didn't.
took my statement out of context.
I
never
didn't
said.
say-
I guarantee this. You do not have on wax. We saying the Lakers have great wing defenders.
No, I
no,
believe.
no.
Hold on, wait. I believe the quote was, and I'm pretty good with this stuff. I believe the quote was, "We'll be better wing defenders than last year as a team," if I remember correctly.
This is what it was about. You remember?
I
wrong.
believe that's what he said.
No, I remember it
And then we
clearly.
said who? You asked
No,
who?
no, no, no,
All right, Elder, clean it up.
I got it.
Clean
I'll
it up,
clean it up
Elder.
real quick. What
Clean
we
it
were
up.
talking about was the team from last year and this year, and I was talking about the size was an issue.
Yeah.
And we started talking about wing defenders, and I'm like, JTA's a wing defender, but he's still undersized. But when I said the name JTA,
That's not
this
what you
nigga up
said.
here,
No.
this
That's
nigga
not
above
what
me
you.
No.
went
No,
retarded.
that's not. That's
No.
not what
No.
you said.
No,
That's
No,
that's not what you
what
said.
we're talking
I know. What actually happened
No.
was I
Okay, go
said
ahead.
my concern was there's not enough size on the perimeter. That was my consistent concern before the season began. And then you said we got JTA. That's what
That's
happened.
not exact.
And
I will bet. Hold on,
and that's
hold on.
what.
You could go play the clip. I guarantee. We'll go back to that video. It's on record. I guarantee that's not how it went, because I wasn't putting stock in JTA. What I was talking about is his height was no different than the other guys we had on the championship team. The KCP is 6'5". What's his name is 6'6". That's all I was saying. And you, hold on. You took it as I was comparing him to those guys, and I wasn't. I was talking about his height. We don't have the 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" wings. We
Right.
don't, and that's what I was saying.
So, Elder,
I was
even if,
comparing
right.
his height. That's
Even if that's-
it. And
even-
when I
even
said
if that's-
JTA wing defender, y'all went crazy. You went
even if that's true, Elder, is there the way that this roster is constructed? How do you see this thing? The way that they're playing, how do you see this thing unfolding? The way that this roster
team
is
so
constructed,
different to me than what we were talking about the Nets earlier. It's really an imbalanced roster.
right?
They think about it. Besides LeBron, who's the true wing that they have on the team besides LeBron?
JTA.
Again, that's not what I said. There you go, trying to be funny.
Right.
We don't have a room to go.
So would you guys like me to play the clip?
Say it again.
Run
Would
it.
you like me to play the clip?
Run it.
Play the whole thing, though. Play the whole thing. Yeah.
Play the whole thing, Ron.
Play it.
All right, here it goes.
That sounds great in theory, but what they'll do is just remove AD as far as they can from the basket, get them in pick and roll action. They didn't do it that good in 2020 because they had wing defenders.
Championship year.
Hold on, time out. We don't have wing defenders now. We don't have wing defenders now. Who's the wing though? Like I don't even know what I mean wings. No, you mean perimeter defenders when you saying that guys just gonna guard. No, I'm talking about wing, like 6'7", 6'8". Time out. Who was the wing defenders we had?
Listen to what he just said.
Hold on.
Danny Green? What are we saying? Bro, those guys are 6'5", 6'6". We got the same kind of guys right now.
Talking size.
Carlo Anderson, Brown, all these guys the same size.
Same size. Exactly what I just said.
No. I'm saying they're the same size. You said, hold on. You said, hold on. No, time out. You said JTA is not a defensive player? He's not a defender to the same level as Danny Green and KCP. No, that sounds great in theory, but what they'll do.
He's not. So he's not a defender. He's still not a wing defender.
No. The whole conversation was about their size. I compared it to the 2020. I compared it to the 2020.
Yeah.
And you said it wasn't, and I said those guys are all the same. When you take Danny Green, KCP, they're 6'5", 6'6". You take JTA, you take what's his name now?
Boy
that came
Brown.
from the Bulls. All those guys are the same size. They're
and then
Walker, they're all 6'4", 6'5",
and then we follow that
That's
up by
all I
trying. But then we follow that up by trying to define wing defenders. And then you said, "Whoa, is JTA not a defender?"
All those guys are defenders. JTA
What do you
is
they're
a
not.
defender.
they're the same size
No,
as the
they're
wing
not.
defenders in the championship.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys this. Is JTA a defender? Is he a defensive player or is he an offensive player?
He's a nothing.
He's nothing. He's just
nothing.
there.
That's
He's
not
just
true.
there.
That's not true.
It is true. It is
Stop
true.
lying.
It is
Hold on.
It is
The
true.
man's a better player than everybody in this room.
He's a rotation
made the
player.
NBA.
No doubt.
Hold on.
Yes, he's better than me.
Hold on.
I'm not having that. I'm not
I'm
doing
a
that.
nothing.
Made the NBA. NBA.
I'm not
He's
doing
the best.
that.
He's one of the top 450 players in the world.
Word. All right, I get with that.
He either is going to be looked at as a defensive player or offensive player. You can't tell me nothing.
You can be just as bad.
He's neither.
Yes, you can.
That's
just be,
not
you
true.
can just.
That's
be no
two guys
value
that don't
on
want to
either side.
admit the truth. If you look at JTA, anybody with sense is going to say he's more of a defensive player than offense. When the Lakers
Yeah, because
put him
when
in the game,
someone brings
they don't
no
put him in as a
offense, you just
scorer.
assume they're
They're
on the
not
court
running.
for
Hold on,
defense.
bro.
It doesn't
Hold on,
mean
bro.
he's bringing good
When
defense.
the Lakers put him in the game, they don't put him in to score. They put him in to play defense on somebody. They're not running plays for
They
him.
put him in to give LeBron a rest.
That's all they do. They just
Y'all
put him in the
don't
game
like
to give
him
him a
as a
rest.
player. That's fine, but he
I
is
have no
considered
problem with him.
He is considered a defensive player. He's not considered an offensive player.
He's considered somebody who just giving LeBron a rest. That's all he does. That's all he does.
Y'all know it's fine. We can move on. I ain't mean to get caught up in this, but again,
Yeah,
that's where the misunderstanding came. I was comparing size.
And if he was a defender, he would have been receiving more minutes in the finals or even in the playoffs last year.
Again, he wasn't one of the best defenders on Golden State's team.
But
he's one of the better. Fortunately, he's one of the better wing defenders the Lakers got. Unfortunately,
Gary Payton went down and he still couldn't play.
I was about to say Gary Payton went down. Iguodala, they were trying to run Iguodala minutes.
When
And
you look at that team,
when
you look at that team, you had a lot more guys that could guard the wing on Golden State.
What's a
than what
lot
the Lakers
more
have now.
guys?
You just named it. You had Gary Payton, you had Klay Thompson.
Gary Payton went down in round two.
We named players that got hurt in the middle of the series or just stopped playing because they were constantly looking for people.
I'm naming you the guys that were ahead of them that can defend the wing.
And then Gary Payton got hurt. And then Iguodala was so atrocious that he just stopped playing.
I didn't name Iguodala. I didn't even name him.
But what I'm saying is they were so desperate to try to find wing defenders on that rotation.
Why are you trying to act like I'm making this man a good player? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if he's on the court, you have him out there for defense.
No, you have him. No, okay. He's out there to give relief for LeBron or somebody else. That's what he's there for.
Okay,
he's there
bro.
to defend.
I ain't gonna argue with you guys.
All right, that's it. Low thinks JTA's LeBron's oxygen tank, and that's it. So let's continue to keep it moving.
He ain't out there defending.
I bet he can defend you. I bet he can defend.
I hope he does. He's a professional. He's getting paid millions of dollars. I hope he can. But in contrast to other, that's such a fucking dumb argument. He's a professional. I hope he does defend somebody who's not a professional.
So
if his
nobody
is arguing.
He played enough defense to make the NBA.
Yes, and then when he made the NBA and he was playing defense against other NBA players,
nobody's not saying that he can't defend non-NBA players.
Okay.
We're comparing him to other. We're comparing him to other NBA players.
Hold it, JT. And how many years?
We're comparing him to other NBA players. I'm not comparing him. Such a dumb.
I think 3 or 4 years. I think 3 or 4 years he's been in the league, something like that.
It's
you're
a
not
dumb
a
argument.
scrub if you're going to stay in the league for 3 or 4 years.
It's a dumb argument.
It's a dumb argument. You to an argument. Yeah, I know.
It's a
you
dumb
don't understand.
argument.
I get it.
It's a dumb
I get
argument.
it. You don't.
What you got, Ron? What you got, Ron?
Nobody comparing NBA players to non-NBA players. What the fuck are we
Quit
doing?
saying he can't play D. What are you doing?
Against NBA players. 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 Against NBA players.
And when I ask you to be defense or offense, you're gonna tell me he just
nothing. He does nothing.
Shut your dumb ass up, man.
He's nothing.
He just goes in the game.
He
don't have no assignments. He don't do nothing. He just goes in the game and stands there. He don't shoot. He don't guard nobody. He got an assignment.
He not shoot.
Man, be quiet. Shut your.
All right. I just had to mute Elder. Let's keep it pushing. We're gonna jump into these super chats. All right, my man Keegan Akira. He said this one is a little nasty, but say Jrue Holiday is replaced with John Stockton. Do the Bucks win any championships?
Hell no. Oh my God, no.
Hey, Lo,
I'm not gonna be a John Stockton here.
I think so.
Low disrespect for John Stockton makes me want to crash my car into a telephone pole. I swear to God, it makes me nuts listening to the dude. I swear. I swear. His disrespect for John Stockton is ridiculous to me. But meanwhile, I got to listen to this dude talk to me about a number of current players today and run off numbers. When John Stockton, oh my God, I already had this argument but to answer the question, I think that John Stockton would be awesome on that Milwaukee unit. The distributor that he is, the defender that he is, the mid-range scorer that he is, I think he would be awesome on that.
Dead-eye shooter that he is.
He would be better offensively than Jrue Holiday. No, the one championship that they won, they needed somebody who was so great defensively that they was taking out Chris Paul and Devin Booker for several possessions at a time.
Well, the reason why that happened is because Jrue Holiday was picking up 90 feet. Now, would Stockton do that? I don't know if Stockton would do that. Would he be able to slow Chris Paul down? I think that he'd be able to slow Chris Paul down to the effect of Jrue Holiday. That remains to be seen. I don't know, but I think that he would do a good job on Chris Paul. But I do think that they would win the NBA championship with John Stockton on that.
No, I heard you say this before about the Booker and the Chris Paul thing, and I wanted to ask you because part of what they did was actually Phoenix's, I think, bad decision making in the sense that whoever Jrue was guarding, they had them run to the corner.
Yeah.
To stop funneling him in towards Giannis and Lopez, and they made them spot up shooters. I don't think that was a good strategy. Do you think, like when you watch that back, do you think it's at all his defense, or because they had what I think to be a bad strategy of whoever's guarding Jrue, whoever's being guarded by Jrue, go to the corner and get him out of that kind of where he's most useful, which is at the top of the key, kind of perimeter defender?
Well, I think it's kind of both hand in hand, but even when because there were times in which they tried to get away with it, but they just couldn't do it. Like the time in which, like there's times in which D-Book was like on a run and Chris Paul was non-effective, like you said, in the corner. Then they put Holiday on him, and then Devin Booker, the next like possession, couldn't even bring the ball up the floor. Like he was trying to bring the ball up on the floor against Holiday and immediately got ripped. 2 or 3 possessions later on, they tried to involve him again with Holiday on him. He just couldn't get a quality look. So, like, it's not even really a knock on Stockton. It's just that, like, if that's the caliber of defense that was needed to be played to slow down really the 2 focal points of that offense, and the games were as close as they were, I don't know if, like, to expect anybody outside of, like GP or Jordan to play that level of defense would be very difficult for me to believe. Offensively,
I'm not going to disagree with you defensively, but when people say you couldn't replace this person with another person and they would automatically lose, that's where I kind of go, well, hold on, because you're right. Would Stockton play the same defense as Holiday?
I don't know about that.
But he would do other things, and the whole dynamic would change, right? So
that's the point that I was trying to make because what happened was he was completely taken out of the offense. Chris Paul was completely taken out. Devin Booker was taken out of the offense for stretches. That's what doomed them, so to speak, because they weren't able to get themselves involved. There was no adjustment whatsoever. They didn't even do that.
But so that's what I'm saying. But I think a huge portion of that had to do with Jrue Holiday taking them out of. That's what I'm saying.
No, I agree. They won because of that. I agree. I'm just saying if anyone, because someone said this about you always hear about other players. Oh, this person didn't have that person or that. Well, no, they'd have someone else. And so it would change everything about the series. So yes, I think could the Bucks? The question was, could the Bucks win with Stockton? Yeah, I think they could. No one else did. But yeah, I think they could. Why not?
All right, that's that. Z-Dub chimed in. He said, which coach had the worst series? Phil Jackson in 2004, Steve Kerr in 2016, or Greg Popovich in 2013?
Well, Greg Popovich in 13 is out. They went 7 games. They were Tim Duncan they were Tim Duncan missing a layup and Kawhi Leonard missing at the stripe from winning that series. So Pop is out. Steve Kerr, he really didn't make a lot of adjustments.
It's got to be Kerr.
Yeah, he didn't really make a lot. Yeah, he didn't make a lot of adjustments. I thought that he did a bad job in adjusting to what they were doing, because essentially what the Cavs did was they gave the ball to Curry. I mean, they gave the ball to Kyrie Irving and James and just went after Curry, just completely went after him, and there was no question about it. I mean, when I think about Phil Jackson, I think that the Lakers, I mean, their offense was pushed. They didn't go to Shaq nearly as much as they should have. I mean, he was averaging 27 and 11 in the series. He was only getting like 13 shots a game. They didn't go to him nearly as much as they should. And the offense got pushed up higher than what it normally was. So I think that was an adjustment too. So if I had to choose between the two, it was Kerr, then Phil Jackson, then Pop.
All right, Z-Dub chimed in again. He said, best coaching series, Phil in 98, Pop in 03, or Kerr in 2022, last year?
Phil in 98, in my opinion.
I would say Phil in 98 as well.
I don't know that, like you just said, Pop in 2003. That was the second year. Tony Parker.
That would have to be from what y'all believe. Yeah, from what y'all said. That was just Duncan with a bunch of notes. That was Duncan with a bunch of scrubs. Let y'all tell it.
Steve Kerr.
That's Duncan with a bunch of scrubs.
He just put the receipts on you, Low. Low and Marz.
Somebody was saying that. I can't remember who all said it. It was Duncan with a bunch of scrubs that year.
It was a third year
in a series.
It was second year TP and first year.
We can talk about coaching in a series. What Pop
so
did
you had to get that one to Pop.
Yeah, that's a great series. That's a great finals run. But I'm looking at what Phil was able to do defensively against that Utah Jazz team, one of the best offenses in the NBA.
Yeah,
and he's completely neutralized them. In my opinion,
he had that number.
I'm gonna say that's more impressive coaching than what
the Jazz led the league. The Jazz led the league. The Jazz led the league in scoring that year. They averaged 102
take
a
away
game.
That the 03 ring, I would argue, is more impressive based on the level of the team that the Spurs were. But simply coaching for one series, I'm gonna take the 98 Bulls.
Yeah.
Okay. Marz, I have another question for you from A30. He chimed in. He said, Marz, who's a better scorer and why? Kobe or LeBron?
They're both in my top 5, but I have LeBron higher than Kobe because when I'm looking at scoring at their peaks, that's how I'm doing it. I think longevity helps LeBron's argument even more, but at their peaks, I think in the regular season, LeBron's the more efficient scorer, like pretty easily, but Kobe's still inefficient, but he's not an all-time great efficiency level scorer like LeBron is. I think LeBron's game, especially when I look at his peak, there wasn't many game plans you could do for him to slow him down scoring once he got that jump shot down. I think him in transition, he's the all-time great weapon, probably the greatest finisher of all time. The jump shot was there, the post game was there, so he didn't have many weaknesses, even though Kobe has him in versatility. But then I look at his volume in the regular season and the playoffs, he's better than Kobe in their peaks. I think I want to say Kobe was around like 30 on like plus 3 or 4 efficiency in the playoffs. Right. LeBron is like 32 on like plus 8 in his peak, something crazy like that. So that's why I'm willing to say LeBron is higher. But I have LeBron number 2 as a scorer all time, just behind Michael Jordan. So
I do
I'm
too.
very high on his scorer.
Me too.
Okay. Chill. I have a question for you. My man McDoob chimed in. He said, Chills, Marz look like Namon Bryce from The Wire to you?
No, he is not. That's not Marz is not Bryce. No.
What?
Name. He talking about naming Bryce. What you call it is Weebay's son. That's what we talking about. Nah, he does not look like Weebay's son because Marz don't have the long hair like Weebay's son does. But nah, I can see it. Oh, you did. I can see I can see the similarities, but nah.
Can you Greek chimed in? He said, "Why was segregation ball left out of the draft?" That's heat.
I would have drafted Bob Pettit.
Segregation.
That's why.
Hey, who's that? Who was that?
Bob Pettit?
I don't know who it
was. No. Who's the
super chat?
Oh, who's the super chat?
Tell him happy Ohi Day. Okay, go. He knows what it means.
Corbin von Bergen said, "Are the Bucks winning another ring in the next 3 years?"
I think they're winning it this year.
They can. If they get rid of Bud, they will. But they can.
Marz, you keep saying that. I think that they're good enough.
I think they can. I think they can with him. I think if they get rid of him and replace him with a better coach, I think it's a guarantee.
I'm not a big Bud fan either, so
I'm not neither. But I think that the Bucks are so good that they can overcome a lot of his deficiencies.
He just gets out their way. Let a great player do what he do.
So good they can overcome their coach's deficiencies.
Yeah, I think that they're that good.
How bad is that? All right.
I mean, the Bucks was one game away from being out of a job, and it turned into a chip. Saved him. Yeah.
Web Slinger chimed in. He said, "Rate this team: 2010 CP3, 2000s Ray Allen, 80s James Worthy, current Draymond, and 90s David Robinson."
That's a pretty good squad, no doubt about that. That's a pretty good squad.
On the all-time teams, though, that's a playing team.
Yeah, that's not
on the all-time teams because that's an all-time team. That's a playing.
Oh, he picked our leftovers. Is that what he did?
Those are the players. CP3 was already out there.
Because CP3 was out there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the rest are though. The rest are left.
He was probably drafting along with us, but
yeah, the rest are left over.
Man,
So
David
you
Robinson.
don't have like when you
That's
don't
the
have
way it
one
is.
top 10 player, like it's difficult.
David
I did
Robinson.
think I did think someone would take David Robinson. But
I thought so. Yeah,
He was good. He was.
All right. Dub chimed in once again with a sarcastic remark. He said, "The old heads can now see how easy the 70s were."
No, we can't. No, we can't.
Actually,
I don't know what you're talking about, Dub. No, we cannot.
Hey,
It's not worth responding to.
know about how
Not
hard
worth
it is. Get
responding.
out of here.
It's not worth responding.
shout out to Dub, man. Shout out to Dub.
Go put on your tights and wrestle. Get out of here. Team game.
That's a good response.
I love Dub. We going head to head. He dead. Oh, more. Oh, you put it back up.
Web Slinger chimed in again. He said, "Nobody said Rick Barry or Nate Thurman for the 70s."
Nate Thurman would have been a nice pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
Barry was
Rick Barry was awesome. Nate Thurman was awesome. Dave Cowens was awesome. Pistol Pete was awesome. David Thompson was awesome. We can talk about guys.
I would pick Pistol Pete because I thought you guys were going to take. I thought you guys would take Walt Frazier.
Yeah.
I got West. That was good.
Jamal Wilkes was awesome in the 70s.
I view West more. I know what you're saying. I viewed in my mind West is 60s, and you're right. He played
The best years of Jerry West was
His best year as well.
Yeah, best seasons was in the 60s.
He still was balling in the 70s though.
No, he still. That's why even Wilt. Like I had Wilt, West. I have all those 60s.
I got you.
Yo, if y'all still haven't liked the video, like it, continue to comment. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. Got a few more super chats I want to get to. My man NJ Dre 1804, he said 90s J Kid is a nasty pick. Also, by the way, lowest pick Shaq in almost every draft he's been in. Great content, y'all. This is hard. This is a hard draft to pick in.
We do what we can, brother. We do what we can.
You always picking Shaq low?
Yeah, Shaq is a top 10 peak, arguably top 5 peak. So I mean that's a no-brainer. Especially when like 5 of the players draft before you, it's only so many other players you can pick at that point. So
I mean, the Diesel was incredible. What are we talking? Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody picked the Big O.
But 70s.
No, he was over. He was over.
That's right. He was. He was over.
He was over in the 70s.
That's what I was trying to say. Can we? There was.
Yeah, he was over there.
I feel like I had more picks in the 60s.
Because I would have picked Big O. Yeah.
I feel like I had more picks.
Yeah, 60s had some picks.
Yeah.
MBRK chimed in. He said Luka takes the most contested threes in the league, and 3 of his teammates in the top 5 for most uncontested. His three-point percentage means fall, in all honesty.
Wait, what?
I don't know if I understand.
F means F in all honesty.
It means F.
I think he's saying
it's a way of saying it means nothing.
Oh, it means F all. Like
yeah.
Oh, F all.
It means
Okay,
nothing.
yeah.
That's what.
No, it means.
I don't think
it
it
means
F
something.
all.
Yeah,
like if it was like 32%, I'd say maybe, but at 22%, it means something.
And Luka doesn't need to,
especially at 9 a game.
Either. He doesn't need.
Is that what he's shooting now? 22%.
22% and 9 a game. So it means something.
Can't
it means
keep
something.
shooting it, bro.
Yeah,
can't keep shooting
it means something.
He gonna keep shooting it.
Oh yeah,
believe me. Double team, triple team, Luka getting them up.
Almost 10 threes a game for your primary ball handler. That's nuts.
Crazy.
That's sad efficiency.
But
that's not even efficient. Can't even call it
90s penny. That's actually good.
Yeah, that was the other one I thought about, but I wanted to make sure I kept the defense because I was going.
What year did he come to the league?
90s Brand Hill.
Who, Penny? 93. He was in the draft. He was in the draft with Weber. Yeah, he was in the draft with Weber.
And peaked at
they traded for him.
Yeah, peaked
they
in
traded
like
Weber
95.
and 2 firsts for Penny. That was a terrible
like
trade.
95, like 96.
Yeah, peak 95, 96. I thought about getting Penny. It's just that I wanted more defense, and Penny is as good as he was offensively. I just had enough offensively, but Penny was the other.
I wanted winners.
I
wanted guys to win.
For our audio listeners, NJ Dre 1804 chimed in again, and he said, "Dale, I would have 90s Penny."
Mm-hmm.
Who didn't Dale pick though?
He picked J Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Oh yeah, the beat. Nah.
Yeah, his
winner though.
was okay, but the 90s Kid and the 80s Reggie Miller, I think, killed it for him.
Yeah, because Kid really peaked in the 2000s. I see what he's saying.
Can you imagine Jason Kidd on that crew with Shaq?
Wait, what do you mean?
Can you imagine Jason Kidd on that crew? His ability to distribute, his ability to speed up the game on that crew with Shaq.
You talking about awesome. They were trying to trade Kobe.
Top left? Yeah. I saw him shoot some jumpers.
He wasn't terrible. He was. I think they still would have been great. I do.
You talking about the Kobe trade, the potential Kobe trade? That's what you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Jason Kidd on that Orlando team.
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jason Kidd on that Orlando team.
Is he better than Penny though? Because Penny was spoon feeding Shaq too.
He was. Penny was showing out back then.
Oh man,
Penny was showing out.
It wasn't news what the deal was. The O ran through the big fella. It wasn't a question. No matter what they did, they knew that their bread was buttered with Shaquille O'Neal, and that's where they were going. And it was starting and ending on offense with Shaq. They didn't go 3-4 possessions where Shaq didn't touch the ball. That didn't happen.
I ain't gonna lie, that was one of the first times ever I watched a sporting event, and I actually felt sorry for somebody. The way Akeem was destroying Shaq, and that was embarrassing.
That's how I felt of how Shaq did when Shaq did the same thing to Shaq did the same thing to Mutombo. I was like, I could watch that all day. The way he beat Mutombo up like that, oh man, no doubt.
Next super chat from Travis Lindsay. He chimed in and said, "What's good, fellas? Hope the show is going great."
Thanks, brother. We doing it. We trying to keep it rolling over here, no doubt.
Giovanni BN chimed in. He said, "Low cooking JTA. Watch the AMP 1v1 tournament."
I don't even know what that is.
Low, I got my money on you too.
You losing your money then, boy. I'm definitely not beating JTA in a 1v1. I don't know what y'all think going on.
Alex Ruiz said, "Who's better right now, Jimmy or Harden?" Got into an argument with my friends about this.
Right now?
I'm taking buckets over James Harden.
I am too.
Yeah, me too.
Like right now,
today,
or are you just talking about
right
like
now.
what you
Today,
said
right now.
Today.
Right now.
Nah, Harden like he back in his bag. Yeah, I'm about to say Harden like he back in his bag. Now, if you're just talking about like the most recent versions we've seen, like playoffs included, I can see why Jimmy, but Harden right now, nah, he back in his bag, boy.
Well, that bag got a lot of holes in it.
It do.
Just do. And the main hole he got is he can't win with that mess he doing, and that's the problem. Yeah. A lot of guys look great, but they can't win with the way they play, man. I don't like guys like that. I don't want no.
That's what I'm saying. If you're talking about playoffs, and yeah, I would say Jimmy, because what Jimmy did last year.
Like the question is like this: you got to play a game today, and you need to win. Who you rolling up on your squad? You picking Jimmy or picking Harden?
Buckets.
I'm picking Jimmy. Yep, I'm taking Jimmy.
That's the way I look at it.
I gotta know what's on the rest of my team.
I'm taking Jimmy.
I gotta know what's on the rest of my team.
Oh.
That's a cop-out answer.
It is.
Jimmy's a real leader, man. I like real leaders. He's a real leader. I don't know nothing about him. I don't like Harden, man.
I just really like Jimmy Butler, and I don't think he gets enough love. So I'm
a huge bucket.
Get my glass though.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Last super chat of the day, my man Hoops Mythology. He said, "Where do you think Giannis and Jokic are peaking right now? Top 10, 20, and I'm assuming he's talking all time.
All time?
They're both in my 11 through 20.
All time?
11 through 20?
Joker is not a top 20 player all time.
Already?
Or he's talking about peak. He's talking about peak. Yeah. He's talking about the best
right
version
now,
of
though. Right now. He said RM right now.
Yeah, they're both
I'm not.
He's talking about
putting either one of them top 20
as a player, just their ability to play ball, not the full resume, just ability to go out there and ball.
See, that burns me when I hear that, Ron, because that's that Marz logic. That's that young logic where we just looking at dudes as a basketball player when you completely leaving out what they do. You completely leaving when I say what they do, I mean that you looking at this dude, his ability to dribble. You looking at this dude, his ability to shoot. You looking at this dude, his ability to pass. What do those things lead to? If those things don't lead to anything, how is this guy a better basketball player than this guy? I don't understand
because he's on the worst team.
I think
he's on the worst team. He's on the worst team.
I don't get that.
He's on the worst team.
Even if these guys are on worse teams. Even if these guys are on worse teams, I see guys who are basketball players who aren't with guys who have the talent, quote unquote, and they still get the most out of other guys. But you guys, like Adrian Dantley, for example, how about him?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What about him? What about him?
I need you to compare. I need you to compare him to someone.
Absolutely. So let's talk about guys like today, like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant as a basketball player, right? He is one of the best. So when I think about Jason Tatum, is Jason Tatum a better basketball player than Kevin Durant?
Right now?
Well, at this
point, you can definitely argue that. Yes, you can.
So,
peak versus peak.
But peak versus peak. Now, so when you see Jason Tatum, does he get the most out of his guys? Yes. I'd like to think so.
Based on
I absolutely like to think
in contrast to KD?
Yes, I'd like to think so.
I think they get relatively the same amount of production.
I don't think that they get the same amount out of their teammates. I think that Jason Tatum, I think he gets a little bit more.
Why?
I think he passes better. Okay. And not only does he pass better, when I look at the big guy on his team. So, for example, I don't think Claxton is that much better offensively than Robbie Williams.
But we talking about at his peak. We talking about Kevin Durant at his peak, not right now.
Well, Kevin Durant at his peak, he playing with Serge Ibaka, so that's a little bit different. That's not the same thing.
But that's what if you said right now.
Yeah, right now you can make the argument.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue Tatum over. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
I wouldn't argue.
But we're talking about at their peaks. Yeah, at their peaks, who gets more? They're getting about the same out of their teammates.
I just don't look at Cade. I don't look at Kevin Durant. Not Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. I don't look at basketball players like you do. I care about what you produce in addition to what you look like as a basketball player.
So where do you have KD? Where do you have KD?
I got KD ranked 16.
You have him higher than I have him.
27.
So
42.
Now because I'm looking at him as a basketball player. You have KD higher than I do.
Wait,
and I look at it through the lens of just basketball.
No, he was just playing, Ron. Don't.
I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing.
He said 42.
Tone do not have Kevin Durant as the 42nd best player ever. No, he doesn't.
Hold on, who said 42? Who said that?
Tone said that. He was just playing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Fluent, I'm putting the spotlight on you. I want to know where he's at.
Oh man,
where's Kevin Durant?
Actually, Kevin Durant. To be honest, Kevin Durant's not on my list at all. Because I don't rank active players.
Yes, you do, Tone, because you got James on your list. So yes, you do.
I made an exception for you. 20 years.
20 years. You got Chris Paul? You got Chris Paul on your list?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I've no. The only exception I made was James. The only exception I made was James.
As Marz was saying,
only active player.
I got him higher. I do have him higher than you do.
So the way,
but I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. Right now, Kevin Durant is viewed higher on the all-time list than he will be in 10 years from now or 15 years from now. And it's not because of the other players coming. It's because people will look back at KD and they'll knock him because his only championships were those two in the Warriors. And they'll look at him as a offensive player like we look at today, a little bit like better than these guys I'm about to mention. But they'll look at him the way we look at George Gervin and Dominique Wilkins and these guys who are scorers. History will not be good to Kevin Durant. And I know you're making your face up now because you haven't gone through it, but trust me, in 20 years, he'll actually drop back for no reason other than people will look at him a certain way.
Even though he won, no, Tone?
Yeah, that's what
they're going to take. I think
that'll keep him in the conversation.
That's what keeps him in the conversation. But I think people will start to say, "Oh, he only won because," especially if the Warriors win a couple more. Without him,
absolutely,
they're gonna say, "Oh, the only reason he got those two chips because he went to the Warriors." But I think people will look.
I think context starts to die out the further you get in.
I'm about to say the further you get out, the less.
I think
context.
there are people who forget about the fact that he joined the super team.
No, they're not going to forget.
I think we'll get
Marz, last episode, you and Dub brought up a whole bunch of agendas for Kareem.
I never said those words.
But that's very rare, though.
That's Dub. That's a great point. That's a great point. Like Dub, there's going to be guys like Dub in 20 years that are going to go and look for it, like the way he did for Kareem.
Yeah.
Those people will have.
They're going to say, KD, averaged 27 points a game, big deal. Elgin Baylor averaged more. He won 2 chips, big deal. He had to join the Warriors, who won 8 titles or however many they finished without him, and they'll knock him and say he wasn't a great defender. He wasn't a great
playmaker. Those people will do that, but I don't think there'll be a larger majority.
Yeah, it's not going to be a large.
Like Dub's not in the majority of people who are.
That's true. That is true.
Because people still have Kareem like third, like top 3 all time. So it's not as if like even with all the context that gets swirled around now, they like the top 10 to 11 is still relatively the same.
Like is KD going to be top 20 in 10 years from now?
What he's not going to do is he's not going to move up the list. I can tell you that. He's not going to move up the list.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
I highly doubt he moves up from where I have him right now.
Right.
Where do you have him, Marz?
I think KD is the 18th greatest player.
That's why I have him to.
I got him at 16. Yeah, I got him at 16.
That's if I had the button, I'd tell you that's not ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous.
Hey,
Say that.
Hey, Chill. Do you have him over Dr. J?
I think he slips out the top 20 in 10 years. In 10 years, yeah.
Chill.
Out the top 20.
I think it's possible.
Chill. Do you have KD ranked over Dr. J?
I do. One spot. I got Doc at 17. I got KD at 16.
No. See, I have Dr. J over KD.
Bro.
I got them. Yeah. I got them flipped around.
But why? But by that logic, then you aren't. If you talking about what they did and what it led to in the production, Dr. J was
idea how you do that.
Yeah, Dr. J was getting,
right?
he was getting further in the playoffs way more consistently than
he's the face of the face of two leagues.
So Doc was never the face of the NBA. No, he wasn't. That's not true. But that's number one.
When he first came.
So that's number one. Number two,
he was the face of the merger.
Right. That's it. Yeah. But that's number one. Number two, we can't leave out the fact that even though KD did get on a great team that was already winning before he got there, and don't get me wrong, Doc did take the 76ers to the NBA Finals, I believe, twice in 3 years or something like that, and they didn't get over the hump until they got Moses, who basically did the same thing that KD did. And KD, on top of that, he did do his job. It wasn't like KD got to the Warriors and he was just coasting. We're talking about the dude. He was the best player. He was the Finals MVP both times, and they probably would have won the NBA championship again had he stayed healthy, but he didn't. But he did not. But that's the difference. So when I think about him and Doc, I don't think it's.
How did Moses do what KD did? Okay, I need to know that. How did Moses do what he did?
Absolutely. So let's start the year before that in 1980. Hold on. So the year before that in 1980, in the 80-81 season, when the Houston Rockets went to the NBA Finals, Moses was on that Rockets team. The next year, Moses won the league MVP. He went 31-14 on that Houston Rockets team, right? So they don't. I don't think they made the playoffs. I think they did make the playoffs, but he was the league MVP. He was a free agent, and what does he do? He jumps on Doc's team. He goes to Philadelphia, and they win the NBA championship as a free agent for next year.
And Philly was just 1 year removed from making.
They was 1 year removed from the NBA Finals. So he basically,
I get it.
You knock Moses the way you knock KD. You don't knock Curry or Dr.
I look at KD's a little different. I look at it just a little bit different.
It's a little bit,
but the Warriors knocked OKC out.
Yeah,
he went to a whole nother conference and all that, and he didn't go to the team that whooped his tail that he had just lost.
Still jumped on the team that went to the
NBA Finals the year before. That makes a big difference to me.
Yeah,
I just looked at my list. I think
I was going to say
I get what you're saying.
Context point. It goes back to Fluent's context point with KD, because most people have forgotten that Moses went and joined Philly the year they made the finals. Most people have forgotten about that because
I have forgot. Honestly,
I remind people all the time, but you're right. They do forget. They do
forget.
But then they also just be quickly chill.
They'll never forget what KD did. Guarantee it. Nobody will ever forget that.
Dr. J made the finals. Dr. J made the finals
3 times in 4 years.
No, but even before Moses got there, he had made the finals 3 times with Philly.
4 times in 6 years. He was in the finals.
And then he made the finals his first year in the NBA once they merged, and that was
77.
That was 2, and
he won two ABA championships.
He won 2 ABA. So by your logic of just sheer production of what a player may have produced, by your logic, why wouldn't that doesn't make no sense?
He'd be better than KD.
You should flip him.
I agree.
I agree with him.
By your logic,
I agree exactly with what you're saying. Yep.
So
he should be high. Lo, that's why I asked him that question. How in the world do you have him ranked higher than him? He shouldn't be. By your logic, he should not be ranked higher than him.
Yeah, that don't make
KD
sense.
Shouldn't be.
So they both won the same amount of league MVPs. But now that I think about it,
yeah, we switched them.
Not by that logic.
And then especially if you consider ABA, Dr. J has
I don't consider the ABA, but I'm listening.
Oh, I do.
But Dr. J would have more All NBA selections if you're considering the ABA as well. Dr. J, if I'm not mistaken, would have more appearances. I mean, All Stars as well. He'd gone to the finals more time, deeper postseason runs, and again before Moses came along.
More MVP.
And I would say if you consider ABA, then he does have more MVPs. Even if you don't consider that, if I'm not mistaken, from 77 to 83, 83, he was like 83, 84. He was like finishing top 5 in the MVP race practically every single year. So like even by your own logic, he should be higher.
KD did that too, though.
But I'm saying, but if they all check off those exact same boxes,
Right.
but we got someone who made it to the finals further, got more out of his team,
Low.
got more out of his team.
You made your point. You're right.
I'm
You're
just
right.
saying,
OG.
Hey, OG. Hey, Ron, put me on a docket with OG and Thanksgiving. Put me on. Put me on a docket. Got him back to back now.
No, you got me right.
One
time.
Hey, don't put this on TikTok now.
Please do. Because Lo, I absolutely. If you really want to get it on, we can get it on, my man.
Hey,
I'm down to get it on. I'm
Chad.
absolutely down to get it on. If you really want to do it, we could do it.
Add it.
I am consistent.
Absolutely.
But let's make sure that we clear. As
chill.
much as you poke holes in my logic, I could do the same thing to you. I could do the exact same thing to you. So if you really want this fight, I promise you, if you really want this fight, we can get it on. So just like you poke holes in my logic, because let's make sure we clear. I'm not always right.
Of course,
I'm not always right. There's plenty of times that I get tripped up, no doubt about that. But just as much as you can poke holes in my logic, I could do the same thing to you. I could do the exact same thing.
I definitely don't claim to be perfect now.
And he can take you one-on-one.
No, I can't. No. Hey, Lo, you think you suck? Please. Please. I'm garbage right now.
Okay. All right, y'all. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I got one more super chat that I want to read off. King GD, he said, "Hey, y'all back at it with a dub group of guys who know basketball. Keep up the good work, fellas. Marz, you gotta burn ticket on Thanksgiving." And I guess Lo has to burn OG too.
Man, Marz, you the people's champ, man.
I don't know if he the people's champ more than they just hate ticket. I think that's all. I think that's what it really is.
That's how you become the people's champ.
They got that hate-love relationship with ticket.
I think they hate ticket more. I think they hate ticket more. So
I mean, they love to hear him coming and hate to hear him leaving. I don't know how we work it out.
No doubt.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you for tuning in today. If you haven't liked the video already, I don't know what you're waiting for, but like it on the way out.
Doc is ahead of KD.
Tomorrow we have Players' Choice.
There we
Absolutely.
At noon Eastern time. We have Players'
man.
Choice Gridiron at 9 Eastern time. You guys be sure to tune in. Thursday. Special show on Thursday, as always. Fluent and chill. You guys make sure to make that your nightcap. Friday, open gyms with Marz and Dub. Other than that, appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yo, the Brooklyn Nets lose tonight.